Okay, welcome everyone to this part 2 of the Nuke. Basically, this is the Nuke for Dummies part 2. We're going to continue celebrating the anniversary of Hugo's desk, as you know. Okay, welcome everyone to this part 2 of the Nuke. Basically, this is the Nuke for Dummies part 2. We're going to continue celebrating the anniversary of Hugo's desk, as you know. Okay! We're going to have a lot of loops here, as I can see. My fault. Just my fault. Sorry about that, guys. I'm going to start again, okay? If you don't mind. We had a bit of an issue here, sorry. So, first of all, thank you so much for everyone that has come to the stream today, that is here watching. And I just wanted to start by saying that today we're going to continue the stream. Hopefully the sound is fine. I hope so. The sound is a bit high-pitched. Is it like not good enough? Do you guys think the sound is okay? Is the sound like okay? I know what you mean, right? Like the sound does look like it's a bit high-pitched, isn't it? Is the sound okay? I don't know, man. Do you guys think the sound is okay? It sounded a bit like a can, didn't it? It sounded a bit bad. Is there something wrong on my side? Oh man, we start well, don't we? We're already starting, and we're already starting with a problem. The sound is good? Okay, fine. So sorry, I just thought that it's a bit weird today. High pitch, right? That's right, yeah, it's a bit high pitch, right? A bit high. Yeah, I don't really know why that is happening. I have no idea. There's something wrong here for sure. But hey guys, this is usual. Like I always have a bit of a problem. I think what I need to do here, let me just see here. What I need to do here is I need to mute this. So let me just mute one thing here, okay? If you just give me 1 second, I'm gonna mute one of the sounds, and then we'll be fine, I think. So if I mute this one here, I think the sound will be better now because I've muted one of my programs thing here. So yeah, it's high pitched. Yeah, I don't know why it's high pitched. Yeah, I have no idea why it's high pitched. That is bizarre. That is new to me. I've never had this issue before. I'm gonna just see. It's fine. Don't bother at all. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know why it was high pitched. It's a bit strange. I have no idea why it's high pitched. Yeah, it's good now. I think it is not. I think I know what it was. Anyway, I'm gonna start again. Okay, I'm gonna start again. I'll be right back. Hello, welcome everyone, round 2. So, thank you so much for joining today. This is part 2 of the stream we did last week. So today we're here to celebrate the 6th anniversary of Hugo's Desk. And thank you so much for being here today with me. And basically what we're going to do today is we're going to be talking, mainly we're going to be continuing the workshop we did last week. For those of you that are just looking for the workshop, maybe wait a couple of minutes. I'm assuming, I'm going to go through the giveaway. I'm going to go through a few things. I have some thank you notes to say to everyone. I have a few words about my sponsors. And so if you guys are really just focusing on trying to get the Nuke training, maybe come back in 5 minutes. I don't want anyone to be upset. But just as I got feedback from last time, I know it got a bit messy last time. I was very excited about the thing. It was a stream to celebrate the anniversary. It was the 6th year. I got a bit excited, so I got interrupted quite a few times. And so I know the flow of the workshop was a bit off. But I have compensated by doing an edited version. So if you go to my YouTube channel, there is an edited version that only has the workshop. I've removed all the giveaways, removed all the breaks, removed all the chat interaction so that you have like a really 1 hour and 45 minutes of just the training, okay? And I'm going to do the same again for this one. So once we're over, obviously this stream you can replay and you can watch it again. But you will also have, maybe tomorrow or Friday, I will edit a complete version of the part 2 just with the workshop as well. For those of you that are after just the Nuke training, I just wanted to like people to, you know, all be happy with this thing, because I got a lot of complaints last time for people complaining that we were talking about other things instead of just talking about Nuke. But anyway, I also would like to thank everyone that sent me lovely messages. I got so many messages. I was overwhelmed by messages of love, messages of thank you notes. I got like private messages, public messages. Thank you so much for all the support you guys, all guys and girls, gave me. Thank you so much. That was wonderful, and I really felt like really overwhelmed by this. So this is going to be like a regular thing, really. So I've been thinking a lot about this because this was quite a success last week. And so I'm planning to start doing 2 streams a week, you know. As you know, on Wednesdays I was supposed to do the Twitch streams where we have the radio in, you know, people can call in and people can talk about different topics, and I have usually topics every week. You know, the last one was climate change. And I'm going to continue having that show, potentially on Wednesdays on Twitch, but I am planning to now have Nuke workshops as well on YouTube. So starting from next week or the week after, most likely the week after, I'm going to start being twice live on social media. So I'm going to be live on Twitch once a week with the Radio In show, where people can call in, they can talk to me, we can debate these topics, and also they can show me the show reels, and we can kind of like go through the show reels and do some reviews. And then on the other hand, we'll have a live stream on YouTube as well, like this one, where it's more focused to Nuke Compositing, where we'll do a few workshops and do a few other things. So that's the idea. And as always, like I did last week, whenever I finish the stream, I'll leave the stream live if anyone wants to watch the whole thing, because there's always giveaways and Q&As and things like that. But I will also always do an edited version for those of you that just want the training. So, and I'm going to start going back to my old streams, because I've been streaming on Twitch for 2 years now. I'm going to start going back and actually edit the versions of just compositing and post them on my YouTube channel. Because people ask those things all the time. They ask, oh, I love your streams, but could I just have the edited version? And obviously this is a lot of work. It is. It takes a long time to edit. You know, just to give you an idea, part 1 that I did last week took me like an entire day and a half just to edit it, to have it on the show like you've seen on YouTube. So it is a lot of work, but I'm going to start doing it so that you guys can kind of like see a few more things, and that's it. But anyway, thank you so much for being here. So today we're going to be here for probably 3 hours, I would say. 3 hours. If we don't finish the Nuke workshop, we will have a part 3 next week. You know, don't worry, I will finish this thing. But if we end up not finishing today the Nuke for Dummies, we will do a part 3 next week. And it will be a little trilogy of posts. So for all of those of you listening as well, I want to make sure everyone knows that we're not doing a composting tutorial, we're doing a compositing tutorial. Just wanted to put it out there because there was some people complaining that I misspoke compositing and I said composting instead of compositing. You know, obviously apologize for that to all the grammar police out there. Obviously this is a live stream. I'm gonna make like a lot of mistakes, and not to mention, don't forget that this is not my native language. I'm Portuguese. So for all of you that think that I've said words wrong or that I mispronounced something, congratulations, you're a dick. That's what I would say. Like, you know, because you try to do something live for 3 or 4 hours and then come back and tell me how it went, because it is not easy. That's what I would say. Anyway, another thing that I would start by saying, let's start by like basically going through a few little news before we start the compositing workshop. Like I told people, just wait a few minutes. I will do it, and I will do it a bit more focused this time. Once I start the compositing workshop, I will keep doing the compositing workshop for like 40 minutes straight with no interruptions. I will not stop to listen to the questions. I will not look at the chat. So we'll just go through the Nuke thing, and then once we do a break, when we come back from the break, we're going to go through some questions. So we'll do it in a more focused way. So apologies if I'm not going to like announce if someone is a member or if someone is a subscriber or if someone has given away like some kind of you know, a donation. Maybe keep the donations for the break, because then I can actually flag them and tell them. I'm not going to announce any of them during the compositing stream, because I don't want to interrupt the flow of the training. Okay, so anyway, let's start off by going through a few things, a few house things. So don't forget that you should go to the giveaway. Like, I've posted the giveaway link already. So if you want to be part of the giveaway today, the giveaway link is this one. I think it's been on the chat already a few times. So we're going to do 3 giveaways today. So Foundry was very kind to offer up a NUKE Indie license for 1 year. This is completely free for one of our viewers. I will do that giveaway at the end. So Foundry was very kind to celebrate the 6th anniversary of Hugo's desk. They basically offered up a NUKE. Oh, that's a police. They offered up a NUKE Indie license for free for one of the viewers today. So thank you so much, Foundry. If you want to know more about NUKE Indie, don't forget to visit their website and check it out. NUKE Indie is a great way for you to kind of like, oh, that's not what I wanted. This is what I wanted. I posted the wrong link. That's the link I wanted. So for those of you that want to kind of like, you know, start learning Nuke, this is a great way, because it's like much cheaper and you can buy it every year if you need it or not. So it's always like a good way of doing it. We're going to be giving away today. Another thing we're going to be giving away today is we're going to be giving a copy of the NUKE Codex book. So I'll show you the book. So obviously it's not going to be the book. It's not going to be the book, this book, like this is the physical version that I have here. This book is by Daniel Smith. Thank you so much, Daniel, for giving away a book today. It's not the physical one. I have the physical one because I like physical stuff, as you probably noticed on my background. But we're going to be giving away a digital version of this book. So that will be the second giveaway we're going to do today. And then the third giveaway will be my new course. So join in. People were saying like 24 entries. Actually, it's not 24. If I refresh this thing, it's 300 entries. But don't worry, because some people repeat their entries, but the system actually is pretty smart. So it only gives away to the actual one user. So if someone has logged in with multiple entries and there's a match between social media entities, it will not use that. So don't worry. You don't need to bother to log in with a bunch of accounts, because it will actually find out and it will actually only do the giveaway. So from these 300 people, we'll probably have 100 people. So just so you know. But yeah, the book will be the second one, and then the third one that we're gonna have as a giveaway will be my new course. So my new course is not available on Patreon anymore. I removed it from Patreon because it was really becoming difficult to manage it on Patreon. So I'm now selling it on PayPal. So I'm going to be giving it away for free to one of the users. It will be like the complete new course. A lot of people asked me if this course is finished or not, or this course is completely finished. It's 150 plus classes. It's like 65 classes, 65 hours of training, and it's completely finished. The only thing that is not finished is not part of the course, which is kind of like workshops that I'm still doing for the Kickstarter campaign, but that's nothing to do with this course. The normal regular course is finished, just so, because I know in Reddit some people are saying they're not finished. It is finished. What's not finished is the workshops, but the workshops are a pledge from Kickstarter, and only the Kickstarter students will get that. I will eventually sell those workshops, but I am not selling them right now. So if you're interested, the course is there, and I'm now taking the course in PayPal. I've lowered the price again. The course used to be £500. Now the course is $399. So the course is even cheaper now. It's actually $399. But you don't need to buy it yet, because wait for the giveaway, because we're going to be doing a giveaway. And if you do have some difficulties with trying to come up with this sum, just contact me, because I am happy to do installments as well. I'm happy to debate and talk to you, and I am also going to do some discounts. And by the way, I'll start by announcing the first discount, which will be on my anniversary. So this Saturday, it's my anniversary. I'm going to be 43 years old. really old, 43. And so to celebrate my anniversary of 43 years old, I am going to, for 24 hours only on the 4th of September, I'm going to announce this on social media, don't worry. So during the 4th of September, just on that day, on my anniversary day, I will be selling the course with a 33% discount. So the course will only be £285 instead of being 400. So, no, sorry, even cheaper than that. Oh, where's my math? My math is wrong now. Sorry about that. So 399 minus 43%, that's going to be £227. So basically £228 will be the price of the course for just 24 hours, only on my anniversary, nothing else. Anyway, that is it for this. Don't forget to, of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel and also check out the part 1 of this workshop. Also, don't forget to check out VFX Notes, which is the podcast I do with Ian Fales. Also, don't forget that I do have a second channel, if you guys don't know. I have a second channel where I only have my replays of my Twitch streams. I have published 50 streams so far. In here, you'll find this is Hugo's Desk Live, a second channel. In here, you'll find the unedited streams. And these streams are basically showreel reviews. Some of them are workshops. Sometimes I'm playing games. I play Control. I'm playing Silent Hill. I'm playing a bunch of things here. And there's a lot of workshops. There's also like playlists, so you can kind of navigate the workshops that I've done. So this is a second channel. Also, don't forget to follow my Twitch streams. Don't forget that on my Twitch streams, I'm basically doing the call-in show. So we've done 3 so far. We've done one about software wars. We've done one about climate change, and we've done one about client feedback as well. So we have a bunch of broadcasts here. Actually, there's a 4th one. Where's the other one? Yeah, just sorry about that. Yeah, so the first one was sexual harassment at Blizzard. Second one was dealing with client feedback, then climate change, and then software wars. So go into Twitch. I'm doing that every week where people can call in. And of course, let's not forget BenQ. So BenQ was very kind to sponsor this this event, these 2 streams, and also potentially the 3rd stream as well. So don't forget to kind of like follow along with BenQ. They have a wonderful Facebook page and also an Instagram page. So don't forget to give some love to BenQ, because they are the responsible for me being able to do these live streams and to do these streams for free. So don't forget about that. So follow their Instagram account as well, which is really lovely. They have a really lovely photographies and lovely things on the stream. I'm sure people are going to complain that I'm just promoting things, but that's the point of the beginning of the stream, okay? So we will get on with the workshop in a minute. And of course, last but not least, don't forget to support the channel that I make with my wife. This is a vegan and vegetarian YouTube channel that I do together with Anna, and we're very proud of it. We have 22 recipes so far. Most of these recipes are vegan. Some of them are vegetarian. You know, go and support this channel because we need to grow the channel as well. And there's some lovely food here. Obviously, I'm biased because I'm her husband, but I love this food and it's like part of my life. And I love Hannah as well, so I'm very happy to do these together with her. As a little side note, all these videos are in 4K because I'm shooting them with my Blackmagic camera, and are also all of them graded on DaVinci as well. So they're all done in 4K as well. Anyway. So for people asking about Patreon only has, I believe it's only credit card, but I think it takes PayPal as well. I'm not sure. So that's pretty much it for the promotion. So you have the giveaway. It's basically on the top of the chat. You have the giveaway link. Please don't forget to sign up. For you to win the giveaway, you kind of have to be here. So I'll be doing the giveaways every hour. So we're probably gonna, we're gonna do we're gonna start now that we already done 25 minutes. So we're probably gonna be like doing Nuke Compositing until 5, and then at 5 I'll do a break, and then after the break we'll do the first giveaway. But that's it really. Again, thank you so much for being here. It is lovely. And also, thank you so much for Sajal to be... Sajal is my moderator, and I just wanted to like shout out to him because he did a fantastic job last week. And I just want everyone to clap their hands and thank Sajal for the amazing work that he does for the community. And maybe if you want, you could maybe go and support this channel as well. He has a Twitch channel, and also he has a YouTube channel as well. Where are you, Sajal? You were here somewhere. Yeah, there you go. So here you go. CG Rockstar is the name of my moderator. He's Sajal. Like here's his YouTube channel. He also has CG Rockstar on Twitch as well. Go and support him. He does a lot of live streams. We do a lot of work together as well. So thank you so much for being the moderator of these streams. And thank you so much for all the help that you give me every day on these live events. So that's it. Yes. Okay, so we're going to start the compositing. Just going to like say it again. The compositing. Is that good for everyone? Compositing stream. I just wanted to like also like quickly just mention because where is it? I had it here. Oh yeah, I did a poll from last week's stream. I had 88 votes. I'm gonna do one again after the stream. I did a poll. I did 88 votes. Basically asked people, you know, if they loved the stream, if they hated the stream, if the stream was okay. As you can see, 74% loved the stream, 3% hated the stream, which was very nice of them, and 23% said the stream was okay. So hopefully next time we get a better result. I hope so. So I'll put it again on YouTube next after this stream, and then you guys will be the judge. If it continues with this kind of like support and love, I'll continue doing them. But yeah, thank you so much. Yes, I'll just start saying comp, right? Maybe I should just start saying comp. Anyway. Conversation is over. Let's just get on with Nuke for Dummies. Now, don't forget, like I said last time, this is really, really basic. Okay, it's for dummies, you know, it's for people that don't know Nuke. So if anyone on the chat knows Nuke, you know, if you already know everything, yes, congratulations, you know everything, but keep in mind that a lot of people are here to watch the part that they don't know. So don't joke around with anyone. If anyone makes a silly question or if anyone makes like a really strange question, that's completely fine, because this is why we're here. We're here to kind of talk about Nuke and how Nuke can work. And it's really for people that have no experience with Nuke. Hopefully, you've watched part 1. I hope so, because otherwise it will be very hard for you to follow part 2. So I hope that you've watched part 1. I hope so. I mean, it wouldn't make much sense if you didn't. But yeah, let's get this show on the road. So last time, we were basically, we were talking about AOVs a lot, and we were talking about what multipass compositing was, and we kind of did like this really, really simple comp. And so there's a lot of things that I want to go through. One thing I forgot. Sorry. This will be my last interruption. I just need to like open my notes, otherwise it's going to be like difficult for me to do this. So I do need my notes. I apologize for that. I should have brought them back earlier, but you know, that's how it works. So basically today we are going to still talk. We're going to try to continue comping this shot with CG. Also have another shot as well, which we probably can copy paste some of the setup. I also want to talk about channels for a bit, just to talk about how channels work, the channels workflow inside of Nuke. I also want to talk about pre-multiplication rules, which is a very important thing in Nuke in terms of compositing and in terms of comp. I'm going to start saying comp. In terms of comp and in terms of how to color correct things. And if I have time, I hope I have the time to talk about glows and blurs and color correction. Remember, if we don't have the time today, you know, because like last time, I don't want to do this for too long because I get too tired. I am old now, you know, so if it gets too long, I will just do part 3 next week, you know, and then you can watch the 3 parts together, because I will edit the parts, just the workshop. So, but yeah, but let's get on with this thing. So I'm going to start this over. So we talked a bit about the advantages of compositing and of comp with node compositing, because it kind of helps you to kind of do multiple versions for clients and things like that. Now, we've also discussed like different things like reformatting, so that we can scale down plates, and the way that we can match the plates with the same formatting. But now I kind of wanted to give you a bit of a rundown of how channels operate inside of Nuke, because this is really important for you to understand how to use the channels to your advantage, because there's a lot of ways of doing this. And I'm gonna open a script that I've prepared, because it will help you to go through this thing so that we can kind of talk about channels. So I'm gonna open up here, and by the way, all these classes that you're watching, these are all classes from my course. I'm just opening them up and kind of like going through them for a bit. So let's talk a little bit about channels and how this actually works. And for that, I'm going to go in a really, really basic way, okay? Because I think I need to explain why channels is important, and why, in a way, channels is the most unique thing that you have inside of Nuke, by far. I think by far. I don't think any other application in the world works with channels this way. And that is why it's so advantageous. You have so much advantages to, comp CG in terms of multipass compositing, AOVs, and things like that. I'm gonna make a little timer because I want to make sure I do a break, because my legs will thank me. Okay, so we're gonna do 30 minutes for now, and then we'll do a break. Okay, so here I have a black constant, then I have a red ball, and then I have a green ball and a blue ball. And why is this important? Well, this is important because obviously, as you probably noticed, most images are created by red, green, and blue. They are created that way because those are the three colors of the spectrum that most cameras are capturing. Remembering also that blue is normally the length of light that the human eye can see the worst, not like cats, So we see blue very badly, and then we see green better, and then we see red kind of okay. Now in video signal, red is terrible, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So what is the channels, and why is this important? Well, this is important because inside the viewer of Nuke, when you're inside here looking at something, remember we talked about that there's like shortcuts on Nuke, right? So when you're in the viewer, if you've clicked in the viewer, the last time, if you press the R button, you just see the red channel. If you press the G button, you see just the green channel. If you press the B button, you just see the blue channel. And this is really important because this is the way that you can view different colors, including the alpha channel, which is, of course, all three, because the three spheres combine each other to make an alpha channel. Now, this is all to do with this menu here on the top. So on the top here, I'm going to try to zoom in so you can see it a bit better. And I'm going to do this so you can see it all. So on the top here, we have RGB, RGBA, so this is a way for you to visualize something inside of Nuke. So RGB only shows just the color. There's no alpha channel if I press the A button. If I put RGBA, then I can see the alpha channel. And then, of course, I have just the alpha if I want to see just the alpha, and all the other layers that would be part of an AOV setup from CG, for example. Normally, it's RGBA. That's the default. Now, one common mistake is that sometimes by mistake, people put this to RGB, and then they can't find the alpha channel, and they get really annoyed, like, oh my god, I can't find the alpha channel. How is that possible? Well, you just need to keep in mind that sometimes, even I do this mistake. So just always keep that in mind. If you don't find an alpha channel, chances are you have this set to RGB instead of RGBA. So don't forget that. Now, this is the way for you to see the full set of an image, right? So this is the entire image with red, green, and blue. On this side here, this is how you can see separate channels. So you see, I can see just a channel, but I have to press the A button to see it. So these are just visualizers, okay? Just ways of checking something. And then in here, you can actually see these are the shortcuts, which include also luminosity and matte overlay, which we're really not going to talk about today. And then, of course, LUTs for the different color space that you have currently on your monitor. So normally, I work in Rec 09, but we're not going to do Rec 09 today because I'm doing a web presentation. I'm going to keep it in sRGB. Although my monitor is calibrated for Rec 09, so maybe I'll leave it in Rec 09. But don't be confused about this because you should only change this if your monitor is actually set to that. But I don't want to confuse you too much. So So these are channels, like I showed you. They have to do with the colors. And I'm going to just bring a piece of footage so that you can kind of see this in contents, you know, like with actual colors. So here's a piece of CG from, this is the raw plate. This is from, oh, I forgot to cache my thing. I didn't talk to you about how to do cache, but you know, some stuff can't really like be done, you know, like it can't really, I can't explain everything. It's too much, you know, like it's just way too much. I can't like really explain everything. I try, but it is a lot of things. So keep in mind, like I said last time, there will be a few times where we will skip things. But this is a CG render of a trailer. This is the raw CG. It's a trailer I directed for Ubisoft. It's for The Crew. And this is just the car, you know, no treatment, no compositing, no comp, no glares, no flares. It's just the CG coming out of Redshift. And this is just like the car with a lot of reflections and some reds and lights. And this is the real-time version of that car. And keep in mind, again, like I usually say, all this footage and all this stuff you're watching on these live streams, they are all available on the course. So when you do my course, you get all this footage. You get the footage, you get like also plates for your show reel, you get all that stuff. But that's like a little apart because maybe some people don't know that. So when I'm here, if I press the R channel, I can see the red channel, the green channel, or the blue channel. And so these are the different channels. And I know you're probably confused. Why am I watching them in black and white? Well, you have to see them in black and white because otherwise you won't see them. You know, if they were actually in blue or red or green, they would be so low on the spectrum that you wouldn't even notice what's going on. And so that's how you view them when you're going through the viewer here. Now, this specific render only has RGB, so there's only an alpha channel and 3 channels. Now, let me show you a different type of layer. So, for example, let me show you one that has multipass EXRs. Just going to go and get one on the side here. So, yeah, so let's just get this one here. So if I get, I think this is the bird, right? Let me just double check. Oops, sorry. Sometimes this happens when I don't cat. Yeah, that's the bird. Okay, I'm going to use this one as an example as well. So look at this one, for example. This is, again, a piece of CG from the mill. This is from a project I supervised at the mill called Healthy Hummingbird. A long time ago. This is 2012. Still looks pretty good, though. So this is like a CG bird rendered back then in Arnold. It was Arnold version 0. It was beta. We were beta testing Arnold. And so this is like a metallic bird straight out of CG. There's no comp. There's no glare. There's nothing. And I'm just going to play it back to show you. So as you can see, the bird is flying around. It has baked motion blur. I'm going to just choose a frame that is a bit more like less blurred. Maybe one of these frames here. Yeah, so one of these frames. So if I zoom in here, you see, again, same thing. Red channel, green channel, blue channel. Now, if I go in here, now you see that there's other things here. You know, see, the crew didn't have this, but this CG has. And so this is what we called a multipass EXR. Can be done on anything. You can do it in Arnold. You can do it in Redshift. You can do it on Mental Ray. If you want to blow your brains out, you can do it in Mental Ray. Mental Ray is really painful, so I would not recommend you to do it in Mental Ray. But anyway, if you want to, you could do it in Mental Ray, I guess, if you really, really want to, like, kill yourself. But as you can see here, we have different channels. So these channels, like I talked last time, they are on their own buffer. So it's like a buffer. This is not a layer setup, okay? Like we saw last week, these are not layers. They are not like in Photoshop where you have all these layers and then you can touch one layer and then everything else changes. No, these are separate buffers. All these channels are separate buffers and they do not connect to each other. They do not talk to each other. That's why last week I was showing you that you have to kind of comp them together and rebuild the beauty to actually be able to tweak them, you know. So as you can see here, we have the diffuse, which there's nothing there because this is such a reflective material. Specular, most of the materials are in specular because that is the majority of this bird is reflections. And then we have also emission, which there's nothing there because there's nothing emitting light. We have indirect diffuse, which is very, very hard to see. If I would gamma, you would see it. Indirect specular, which is the bounce GI of the scene. Then you have reflections, a couple of them. We have refraction, which is the glass material and the eyes. And then scattering that doesn't exist. The reason why we have empty buffers, empty channels, is because obviously when we comp or we render all these shots of a production, we render them all the same way, you know, and then kind of like some channels might not be there because maybe there's not a person on this shot, or maybe there's a person on the other shot. So we don't go in each shot and remove them because you don't lose anything with these extra channels. They're black, you know, there's no information on them. So these are the different channels. Now, to make it even more like, to show you this in a bit more detail, let me just go and pick up another shot here just so you can see it. So let's see here. I want 40, CG, 18, and this would be that one. So we've seen this monster before. And so this monster here, which I'm going to light up so you can see it, same deal here. We have a red channel, green channel, blue channel. And then, of course, all of them. And again, same thing here. We have the global illumination, which is the bounce light of the environment. We have the subsurface scattering, which is just the skin. Sorry, this is not in color. It's just in skin. Then we have the lights. We talked about this last week, so I'm not going to go through this again. And if you haven't watched it, you need to go and watch part 1 to kind of understand what's going on here. So why is this all important? You're probably thinking, like, why the hell are you talking about channels and red and green and blue? Well, it's really important because that is the most powerful part of Nuke. It's the channels. Now, what do you do with this? Because remember we talked about last week that if I go in here and get a grade node and set the grade node to subsurface scattering and make the subsurface scattering less, like, or brighter, like let's say that we make it twice as bright by putting 2 on the subsurface scattering, notice how nothing has happened to our scene. But if I go to the subsurface scattering, you see that in here, if I disable and enable the grade node, you can see that it is actually brighter. Now remember, these are buffers, right? So because they're buffers, they're separate. When I change the subsurface scattering, nothing will happen to the beauty. The beauty is a separate buffer, just a reference buffer, so that you can check how the CG artist intended for the shot to exist. So the cool thing about this is that you pick all these buffers and then you reconstruct them and have a beauty, which is what the CG artist had in mind. And always be careful with this because you shouldn't change the CG too much, you know, because the CG artist took his time to light this shot. And you, as a comp artist, are just like giving bells and whistles in the last 10%. You're not meant to go in and change all the materials because that is the CG artist's role. If you have something you want to change, you need to go back and ask him to change it. So keep that in mind, okay? I hope everyone is here listening. I hope everyone, the creepy guy, I hope everyone is following along. I hope so. I don't want to interrupt the workshop too much. But if everyone is following, if everything is fine, if I'm going too fast or if I'm going too slow, just let me know on the chat and I'll keep an eye on it and kind of I will look into it, okay? But remember that we're not taking questions right now. You know, like I am basically going to do the questions at the break. Like I said, I want to make sure all the people that hated the stream last time don't hate this stream. I know it's full of me trying to make everyone happy, but that's just my nature. I want everyone to be happy, and I feel like that is the only way we're going to move forward is if everyone becomes less toxic on the internet. Obviously, it's a pipe dream. It will never happen, but I'm going to try. Anyway, I'm going to try. Okay, so this is very, very raw and very, very basic stuff. Keeping that in mind, okay? Okay, so people are kind of like saying that it's all going well, so I'm happy. They're asking when the giveaway starts. The next giveaway will not start until at least 20 minutes from now. So please come back in 20 minutes if you want to watch the giveaway, or stick around and just listen to us in the background. Okay, cool. Let's just go back. So why is this important, and why, you see, if I want to like tweak the subsurface scattering, I can't because I am bound to this buffering system. So that's where channels and shuffling exists. So that's where we have those tools. So if you go in here to Nuke, there is like this menu here, which is called channel. And if you open it up, you have these weird nodes that no one really knows what they are because they don't exist on any other application. So you have shuffle, which is a way of you shuffling buffers and channels around. Just like the word says, it's shuffling it around. Then we have the copy, which is to basically copy a channel from one place to another place. If you need to, for example, very important when you want to copy alpha channels to another place. Or if you want to, like, that is really important when you want to try to do those kind of things. Then, of course, you have channel merge, which allows you to kind of like merge two different channels. If, for example, if you're doing a key, if you have a lot of alpha channels, you can merge them. For example, the key from the key light and maybe one from the primat and one from the keyer. Then you can merge them all together. You can, of course, add new channels to have containers for the buffers. And you can remove them completely if you don't want these black channels or black buffers. You can just get rid of them. Keep in mind, though, if you remove a channel, it will not be removed completely. It will stay there until you restart the script again. And if you go upstream, it will be back. So, because nothing is destructive in Nuke. So this is, you know, why this is important. So let's go back to this thing. So most important node here to talk about is the shuffle. Now, keep in mind the shuffle is very different from the old one. So I'm going to open up the old one just to show you. So this is the old shuffle. This is the new shuffle. Okay, I'm going to just like set this to default. So this was the old shuffle that everyone hated. I kind of liked it, but you know, everyone hated. Everyone hates everything now. So this was the old shuffle. The really reason I'm explaining this and I'm showing you this is because if you open up a script before Nuke 12 in Nuke 11, you'll see this shuffle on the left side. If you open up a script after Nuke 12, you'll see the shuffle on the right side. I think it's Nuke 12 or Nuke 11, maybe one of them. Doesn't matter. I got a little bit of water. So please disregard this shuffle because obviously we're not going to talk about it today because it's like old now. It's not relevant. If you want to know more about this shuffle, there are many videos on YouTube about it, and also, you know, on my course I talk about both of them, so you can kind of learn both. It's important for people to know both, so we're not going to talk about that one. What we're going to talk about is the actual shuffle that I'm talking about, which is on this menu here, shuffle. So why is this important and why does this matter? Well, the reason this matters is because, as you can see on the shuffle here, this is the way for you to move a buffer from one channel to another channel. Because remember, we have layers, which are these. These are the layers. And then we have the channels. So each layer or buffer, like I was saying, you know, going back to, I know this is confusing, so keep in mind. Try my best, okay? So keep in mind that each of these are a layer. So we have the GI layer. We have the subsurface scattering layer. They are also called buffers. I would call them buffers, but think about them as layers, I guess. And then inside of each of them, you have the actual, you know, the actual channels of each of these layers. So the subsurface scattering has a red, the green, and the blue. The diffuse has a red, the green, and the blue. So each layer or buffer has its own 3 channels, or 4 with an alpha. So you might have red, green, blue, and alpha. So if you want to shuffle them around, if I go here back to my beautiful spheres, which are on RGB, you see, if you look at the shuffling here, it's nothing more than just the piping, really. So you see, these are little pipes. I'm going to just zoom in here. We have all these pipes here, which we can kind of like, the way this works is that you can, I'm going to zoom in quite close so that you can kind of see. So if you want to pipe a color to a color, you just double click on one of the, for example, the red. You double click on it and it pipes it directly to the red. If you double click on the green, it pipes directly to the green. You double click on the blue or the A, and that just pipes it together. Now, if you want to unpipe it, you just need to drag it out, you know, completely. If you want to pipe it completely, you can like do networking, you know. So for example, red can go to the green, or green can go to the red, or blue can go to the alpha, or alpha can go to the blue, if you want to really mess with someone's life. But you see, these are little pipes. I guess some of you that maybe know Maya or maybe you know Houdini, they'll probably know these kind of things. It's really, really like basic stuff, of course. But that's why this is called Nuke for Dummies, right? So basically in here, we basically have this dynamic where we have an input layer, which is what's coming into the pipe. This is basically whatever is coming into the stream of the node. So incoming into the node and then outputting from the node. So if you look at the node itself, you know, so if I look at the node, what you would consider, you know, inputting, sorry, I'm just going to zoom in here so that you can kind of see it a bit better. So you see, when you look at this node here, you see we have an input, which is a B pipe, which exactly on the shuffle, it says here in B, which is whatever comes from the B pipe, which is the connector to the shuffle node. Output would be the back one here, the one that goes down. That's the output layer, right? So you have the B in and the out. Obviously, you also can change it to A if you had two things. We'll talk about the two things in a second. This is not important right now. So I'm going to pipe it back in here. So as you can see, as soon as I pipe the B, you automatically have another one. And that's the A, because the shuffle node allows you to pipe and copy from other renders and other read nodes, not just from one, okay? So let me, for example, do this. Imagine that I'm going to just put this to default. By the way, if you want to put to default, you just right-click over the gray area of any node, and you have set a keyframe on everything, set it to default, revert, you know, no animation. You have a bunch of things here. One thing I forgot to mention last time is that whenever you want to know something, I did mention this. If you leave the mouse over something, it explains what it does. So if I leave the mouse here, it tells you exactly what this node does. So everything in Nuke, by just leaving the mouse, it tells you what that does. If you leave the mouse here, it tells you what that... we talked about this last week. But there's one thing I didn't talk about last week, which was the help file. So if you click on the little little button here, just on the little corner here, there's like a little integration mark here. You can then have access to the help file. I know you're probably thinking like, oh, Hugo, I don't need a help file because I know everything. Well, you don't really know everything because the help file of Nuke is really powerful. Now, if you press on it, I need to kind of like make it, yeah, that's right. I need to like, sorry, I need to like be on because I'm full screen, so I need to like go to my Safari here. Let me just, why can't I go to, okay, here you go. So I need to actually drag it in here so you can see it. There you go. So the help file in Nuke is really powerful. It actually is online, so you need an internet connection to read it. But it has everything, like literally everything. You can search, it tells you exactly what everything does. It's very, very, very complete, to a point that sometimes it's too complete. And it has everything. Like imagine if you want to know what a copy is, it tells you what a copy is. If you want to know what a shuffle copy is, it tells you what a shuffle copy is. And this happens on anything in Nuke. So if I now go back to Nuke here, and let's say that I want to know more about the grade node, I press this little button here, and again, sorry, it opened up on the other window, of course, because it had to. So it opened up on this screen here for some reason. So in here, it says what the grade node is. It shows the shortcuts to the grade node. It tells you exactly what input here. I know this is really dry reading. It's really boring, but it explains everything. And to a point that if you drag and go all the way down, there's even like some tutorials. They're not very good, but you know, they're okay. So if you click on here, it tells you how to do white balance, you know. One thing I would say, though, if you want, like this book, the one we're going to give away today, it actually has a lot of this stuff, you know. It goes through all the nodes as well. It's a really nice book. I like it. Like, I mean, I don't need it anymore because I know Nuke inside out. I mean, I've been using Nuke for like 15 years. Yeah, 15. Yeah, 15 years. No, 16. I've been using Nuke for 16 years, so I kind of know everything here. I mean, I think I've been using Nuke for more time than most people on this audience, I think. Not saying I'm the oldest Nuke art user, of course, by far, because people have been using Nuke since 99 or something. But I am one of the oldest, like, when they became part of the Foundry, anyway. So, just keep that in mind. So, going back here, if I want to shuffle something, let's say that I want to shuffle and I want to just have, and just put this to default. let's say that I only want to have the red channel as my buffer to control it. So that means I want to move my red channel into my beauty, into my RGB. So the way you would do this would be you basically would pipe it to all the same channels. So now the red channel is alive on all the different channels, for example. You can do this by piping it like I did here. Or you can also just right-click here and actually choose an actual channel that you want to go to that side. So obviously this becomes a bit confusing because I'm just showing you, you know, different spheres. But this would be the same thing if I would now say, for example, let's say that I want the green to be on every channel, for example. So let's say that we do this, and we do this, and now and now we have every channel on the green, for example. So now we only have the green channel. And remember, now they become white. They became white because I'm now doubling up channels. That's why. So I'll go back to this in a second. I want to show you in the actual image, this one here. So remember, we were trying to grade the subsurface scattering. So how do I actually go around and do that? So I would have, for me to do that, I would have to go in, get a shuffle node. So I would go in here and get a shuffle node. And on my shuffle node, default is RGB to RGB. So remember, B comes in through the pipe into the node and outputs something. So I have a beauty, which is incoming, and I have a beauty that is outcoming. So that's why the node, if I disable it, nothing has happened because it's not doing anything. Now, if I open up this list, let's say that I want the subsurface scattering to be my actual beauty. So in this case, the only thing I need to do, sorry, I will click on the wrong one. The only thing I need to do is to go in here to my list and see, okay, so SSS is the list, is the actual channel I want to use. So I'm actually going to go and do that. I'm going to select this one. So I'm going to open up my list, and then I need to find that channel. So that channel would be right here on the SSS. And now, as you can see, I'm going to default this back again because it clicked on it. So I'm going to select SSS, and as you can see now, I'm putting the subsurface scattering red is now going to become my RGB red. The subsurface scattering green is now going to become my RGB green. The subsurface scattering blue would now become my RGB blue. Now, there's no alpha channel on this subsurface scattering, so I don't need to care about that. So if I wanted the alpha channel to be part, I'll show you in a second. So in here, we started with a beauty, and now if I look at the result of this shuffle node, I now have the subsurface scattering on the RGB. So now I can put a grade node, and now I can tweak it. And remember, if I now go back to my buffer, the buffer is still unchanged. So I'm only shuffling it to another buffer. I'm shuffling it to the RGB, which means that the original buffer is still there. I really hope everyone is still with me. I know this is confusing. I know it is. It is a bit like tricky, I'm pretty sure. You know, like, so yeah, you know, someone on the chat is saying they learned 60% of everything on the help section. Yeah, the help section is really good. I still prefer the old shuffle. I do, because I'm an old school guy, and I like the old shuffle. But you know, the new shuffle is also pretty cool. Now, so okay, we seen this, right? So why is this like cool and everything? So the important thing about this, the channels are so important, is because of this. Like, if you go in here, let me show you what I mean. So notice here, for example, that I have this car. So this car here, let's say for a moment that I want to light up and glow the lamps on the front. So let's say that I want to have a glow here. Now, obviously, my CG artist was very kind to do a cryptomat for that light. So in here, you can see that my cryptomat is actually having a red channel, a green channel, and a blue channel. And so, obviously, if I wanted to use this, you know, I can go in here, and I can put a grade node, and, you know, I can, like, pump it into this image, and then on the grade node, if I want to just brighten this light, I would have to, like, use it as a mask. So every node in Nuke usually has a mask input. So if you plug in the mask input into this object ID, I mean, this is called an object ID. Obviously, these days, you guys and girls are more used to cryptomats. But obviously, cryptomats, or something very new, This was rendered back in the day where Redshift did not have cryptomats. That's why this is an object ID. We don't use these anymore, but it's the same concept. So in this situation, we have the green channel, which is the one I want to use, or for example, the red, for example. So in the grade node, I would have to tell them, okay, I have a mask input into the grade node. In the grade node, you can kind of see that there's a mask input here, which is ticks as an alpha. If I open this up, I can choose which I want to use as a mask. So remember, the green was the one I was after, because that's the lamp. So I'm going to open this up and say RGB green, okay? And so now if I look at my color corrector, if I open it up, if I now brighten this up, you can see that I'm now lighting up just the lamp, nothing else. And obviously, I can use this to light it up. I can use this to kind of like do glows if I wanted to. I can pinpoint this thing. So this is kind of how we use it, you know, a bit more traditional, like Shake used to do in Fusion even. You pipe in a mask, and so if I wanted another one, you know, in here, I could do this. You know, I could now say, okay, let's say that we want to light up this red thing. So I'm going to now choose the RGB red. I'm going to go into my red. By the way, the grade nodes, you probably want to start labeling them so you know what it is. So in the node, there's always a label. I'm going to put this saying lamp, for example, so that it says that it's a lamp, so that I know that it is. And then this one maybe is the LED, you know, this little LED thing. So in here, for example, again, now that I have the lamp with the mask of that object ID, you can see that now I can also change the light intensity of just the LED. So this is kind of like why you kind of want to make sure you understand channels. Now, why is this important? Well, this is important because when you're compositing, a lot of times you do this. You basically have your beauty, and a lot of times you have a multi-pass EXR. In this situation, I've shuffled them all in because this was not a multi-pass EXR, but notice how if you ignored all these shuffles and you look at this, you notice how I have all my channels inside one beauty, you know. Sorry, my timer is saying that we need to do a break. I will just wrap up what I'm talking here first. So you see, I have all my channels here. Now, the advantage of using the channels workflow in Nuke is that then on the grade nodes themselves, I can call the channels if I need for something. So that means I can call in whatever channel I want to do some kind of color correction. In this case, I have like the lamps here, which is doing color correction. Then I have the other lamps here, and then I have the bonnet, for example, here. So this one is actually affecting just the bonnet. So you can do both ways, you know. So you can either do what I did here, which was to have them outside the pipe, and they are a read node, and then you input them into the pipe on the grade node with the mask input. Or you can do it by using the inner channels pipeline so that all the channels are always there on the viewer, and you can just call them inside the grade nodes. Now, this is a much better way of comping this version without the inputs of masks. Why is that? The reason for that is because if you have a really big script, it's going to become really tricky for you to always keep using the same mask, because then you have to copy paste the mask and go through it. And basically imagine the script was really large, and then imagine on the bottom you wanted to use the mask again. Now, if all the masks are on the same stream, then you can keep reusing them and you're using them. I'm sure I'm confusing people. I'm sure I am. I'm trying my best. So let's just save here. We're going to do a break because it's been like an hour now. I know we spent like 20 minutes talking in the beginning and we only did half an hour, but don't remember, like we're going to do a break now, 10 minutes break. And then after 10 minutes, we're going to do the giveaway. So let's just, and also don't forget that we're going to do some questions. And then when we come back, we do the questions, we do the giveaway, and then we go back to Nuke and then do 45 minutes straight of compositing again, so that we don't do interruptions. The only reason this was shorter was because it was the beginning and I had the intro. So I hope you're all following. This is the time, if you want to say that you're not following or if you have a lot of doubts, just ask me. So I'm going to do a break. And when we come back, we'll have the first giveaway, one of the 3 giveaways we're doing today. Thank you so much for sticking around. I can see that there are still, let me just see how many people are watching right now. Yeah, so we still have 100. Yeah, we have 144 people watching, which is amazing. I mean, last time we had 300, but we have about half of the people that were watching last time, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Just a little side note, since we're doing a break now, I just wanted to thank, really thank some new members. First of all, I want to thank Joe Jacobs for the $20 donation. Thank you so much. Joe Jacobs actually donated $20, and he says, Hugo, you're the man. Thank you for all the Nuke tidbits. Thank you so much, Joe. Much appreciated. Again, like I usually say, all the money that I gather on these streams goes to the running of the channel, and it makes me the opportunity to do more streams and finances the YouTube channel. So that I can keep going, because YouTube does not help at all. We get peanuts from videos. So keep in mind that if you like to see more of my videos, keep supporting the channel if you can, only if you can. If you're struggling, please do not do that. I'll do it for free anyway. But thank you so much, Joe. Also, I wanted to thank Anna Transi for becoming a new member. Much appreciated for you becoming a new member. And also, of course, let me just scroll up. I also wanted to thank Natalia Sanchez Moya for becoming a member. Much appreciated for you to becoming a member. Thank you so much for joining the Hugo's Desk. And also, I wanted to thank Didier Moreno. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing your names. I'm so sorry if I am. Didier Moreno for becoming a member as well on YouTube as well. And then, of course, Georgie Aralampiev for becoming a member. Much appreciated, Georgie. Thank you so much for becoming a member. And also Ronnie Asensio becoming a member as well of Hugo's Desk on YouTube. Thank you so much for all this love. This is amazing. And that's it, really. I think that's it for now. Much appreciated for all these memberships and new members. So we're going to do a break. We'll be back in 10 minutes. I'm just going to say hello to everyone on the other camera, because I have to use my other cameras. Hello, everyone. Just going to say hello to everyone. So we'll do a break of about 10 minutes. Don't forget to stretch your legs. Don't forget to kind of drink some water, That is really important. Drink some water. I have my glass here with Red Room from The Shining. Stretch your legs, rest your eyes a little bit, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes. Okay? Thank you so much, and I'll be right back. Hello everyone, I'm back. Hello. Thank you so much for sticking around. So we are now going to hope everyone is enjoying the stream. I hope so. I mean, I'm trying my best to be quite basic and trying my best to explain channels as best as I can in like 20 minutes or 30 minutes. Obviously, you know, if you want to know more in detail things, you might want to consider doing courses in Nuke. You know, there's a lot of people. Victor Perez is out there. Steve Wright is out there. There's a lot of people making courses online. Obviously, I have a course as well if you want to like look into it, which we'll be doing a giveaway today about that course. And also like I will have a special promotion of that course on Saturday. Saturday is my anniversary, so I'm going to be selling for 24 hours only. The course will be sold for 43% less because it's to celebrate my 43rd anniversary. But yeah, thank you so much. So we're now going to go through a few questions. Like I said on the beginning, trying to make it as less disruptive as possible on the stream. So I'm now going to do a few questions, then I'm going to do the giveaway, and then I'm going to go back to Nuke, and then we're going to do Nuke for another 30 minutes straight without interruptions as well. So I'm trying to not make interruptions when we are actually inside the compositing. So for those of you that just want to see the compositing and are not interested on the giveaway and are not interested in the Q&A, maybe come back in 5 minutes. You know, maybe I would say maybe 10 minutes. Maybe in 10 minutes, come back, and then in 10 minutes, I'll probably be in Nuke again. So let's do a few questions. While we're doing questions, don't forget to click the giveaway link so that you can sign up for the giveaway. Let's open up the questions. Sejal was very kind to have a lot of questions for me. Let's see here. Sorry. I'm just opening up. Oh my God, so many questions. It's always the same thing. Okay, let's see here. First question. And again, thank you so much, Lenny. Lenny is also on the chat, and she's also helping out with Sejal with the questions. Thank you so much for that. You didn't have to do that. Thank you so much, Lenny. Much appreciated for your support. So let's see here. Okay. I have someone asking which game you play on PlayStation. Oh my God, that's a really tough question. I play a lot of games. I'm a huge gamer. I'm playing games all the time. Currently, I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. That's the game I'm playing right now. I'm also playing Quake on PlayStation 4, the remaster that just came out. Those are the two games that I'm playing at the moment. I'm kind of waiting for Death Stranding Director's Cut, which is, I love that game and I want to play it again. So that's the games I'm playing. That's a really crazy and funny question. Which is actually going to be cool because the VFX Notes podcast, episode 7, will be about video games in films, you know, because we are going to review Free Guy. So we're going to talk a lot about that. Let's see here. Another question here. Someone is asking, what if someone already has the Nuke Indie license? Well, if you already have the Nuke Indie license, then I'm afraid I will just roll the dice again. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't think I can solve that. Unless you're going to run out of the subscription in a month or so, then I can, of course, give you that. But I don't think I can solve that. The same way that goes that if someone already has the book, or if someone already has, like if someone already has this book, or if someone already has my Nuke course, I'm sorry, I don't have extra giveaways. Maybe I need to think about that. Maybe I need to start having T-shirts or having like I don't know, mugs or something to do that. So, but sorry, I don't really have a question, an answer for you. I say so. Yeriel, the text is so small. Sorry, I need to like. I am getting old, you know, guys. I'm getting old, so I can't read the. Isn't that ridiculous? I can't read the text. How ridiculous is that? Because it's so tiny that I can't even read it. I feel like an old man now. I'm sorry about that. So I'm gonna have to like drag this thing into here so that I can actually read the questions a bit bigger. Sorry about that. I'm getting old. I can't read. It's too far away from me. The second monitor is just too far away from me. Okay, so let's see here. And I apologize, I didn't say the name. So the question about PlayStation was from Sarang. Sarang asked about the PlayStation. Then I had Fra Yoshi that asked about the indie license. And our next question is from Bertoni. Bertoni asks, hi Hugo, how would you say it is the moment where a junior composer becomes a mid artist? Not talking about years of experience, but skill level and work speed. This is a really good question, Bertoni. So I would say that a compositor becomes a mid-level, becomes from junior to mid-level when they are really comfortable with everything on the software. That means they know everything inside out. They know how to tackle with deep compositing. They know how to tackle keying. They know how to tackle with rotoscoping. They know how to tackle cleanup, tracking. Basically, you become a mid-level when you are actually in a point that you know how to do everything in Nuke, including 3D tracking, deep compositing, AOV, setups of projections, anything that is a skill set level inside of Nuke, you know how to do. And so you become a mid-level when your skill set is that level. And also, you also become a mid-level when you become a person, an artist that does not need directions for every single thing. So for example, if a supervisor tells you, make the shot look good, you know what to do, instead of having to get really extensive notes. A lot of times, a mid-level artist can pick a shot and do it, Obviously, it starts to go into the realm of senior, but a middle range compositor will be someone you trust with one shot, as opposed to a senior where you probably would trust a sequence instead of just a shot, So keep that in mind. Another question here from Joe. Again, Joe Jacobs, thank you so much for the donation. That was really, really appreciated. He's asking, when the Shake seminar? Yeah, I am going to open the box of Shake. It's going to come in a few weeks. I'm discussing this with Ian Fales from Before and Afters. We're going to do a video about me running Shake on an old school machine, an old Mac from the 90s. It's going to be fun. Red Stallion 2000 asks, if you have a moment, can you discuss AOVs? Well, I've discussed AOVs on part 1 very briefly, but eventually we will. Not sure we will today, though, Red Stallion. It might be that I need to do part 3. I think I will. I think this takes so long that I think it will be part 3. By the way, I wanted to answer someone asked me last week. They were complaining on my YouTube channel, why you're taking so long. They were complaining that, I was like doing a tutorial in 7 hours, and 7 hours is so long. How can you take so long to teach something? I just wanted to let everyone know that my course is 150 classes. It's like 65 hours. And I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's not. I really, from experience, I've been teaching Nuke for more than 10 years now. It takes you at least a year to become a master in Nuke. It's really a complex software. It has a lot of different things. You don't have just the AOVs. You have also keying, and you have rotoscoping, and you have tracking. You have 3D tracking, you have 2D tracking, you have warping, you have morphing. There's so much stuff. So it takes a long time, just so you know. Oscar is asking, do you have to change anything in Nuke if you work with spec glossy metal roughness workflow? I'm not sure I know what you mean, Oscar. I don't think you need to change anything. I mean, spec glossy material roughness, that's kind of... I'm not sure what you mean with a workflow in spec glossy material roughness. I'm assuming you're talking about different AOVs, but I'm not sure I understand your question. Sorry. Mondal, a member, Sovik Mondal, is asking, is the Oak Lake movie completed? No, it's not. Unfortunately, I don't have the funds to finish it. I still need a 3D artist to help me, and I really trying to finish it. I'm trying to get some sponsorship to finish it. Maybe I'll try to get some sponsors, but it's been difficult. Yes, I have not been able to finish it. I filmed it 3 years ago. I know it sounds ridiculous, but some people take years to finish something. Because of course I prioritize my production work, the work that gives me money. So I kind of have to prioritize that, unfortunately. Okay, let's see a few. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, KZLCR asks, so when you shuffle a channel out, it's actually removed? No, you're not removing it. When you shuffle a channel, you're just moving it to another place. So the other channel stays where it is, the buffer. I guess then it's actually not... I guess the word is wrong. It's actually a copy, right? Because you're copying it to someone else. So it's actually not removed, no. So I do think it's confusing, the wording, yes. So it's more like a copy than a shuffle, but the word of the node is called shuffle. Okay, Oscar is asking, rendering is often done by reading single images, not video formats. Do you input these bunch of render images into a special node that packages the images into a video file? Yes, so we always render frame by frame in 3D, and we also comp frame by frame. And then at the end, we render the shot. We haven't done that yet on this Nuke to Dummies tutorial. But you then basically do an operation which is a write node, which renders the scene out. And you can render it out as a file sequence, again, as an EXR or a JPEG sequence or whatever you want, or a TIFF sequence. Or you can render it as an AOV, sorry, as an H.264, a QuickTime, or something like that. So you can do a video file, but normally you do sequences and then it goes to a grading software. So normally the workflow is that you do EXRs and then you render them out, and then normally you bring them into DaVinci, and then on DaVinci you make those video files. That's how it works. Neko Chain asks, can you please briefly explain new shuffle and shuffle copy, please? Well, I've just did that. Just did that, so hope maybe you can watch the replay. This is probably an old question. Sajel is asking, when is the anniversary discount? Yeah, so it will be on the 4th of September during 24 hours. So basically on the 4th of September, from midnight the 4th of September until 11:59 of the 4th of September, this is Saturday, I will be doing the discount. It will be 43% off on the course. It will be a PayPal link. Just watch my social media. I will have it everywhere. I'll do a poster. I'll do a link. It will be all over my social media. Basically, it's a purchase in PayPal. So just find on my social media. It will be on Saturday that I will have the discount. Okay, so KZLCR says, can you show a simple example of you reconstructing in a Redshift beauty pass and then correcting the specular or something, shuffling it back in? So I'm not sure I'm going to go into that because the files we're using currently today, they're from V-Ray. But if I do have those kind of things on my course if you're interested, and I'm probably going to do that again on YouTube, I'm sure, so maybe check my YouTube channel. I do that often. I've done Redshift rebuilds on Twitch. I have done that, so maybe look into my archives. There's something there. Can't remember exactly which episode it is, sorry. PS Craft says, hi, Mr. Hugo. How important it is to have an art background, sense of light, shadow perspective for compositors? How can non-art background people improve their look development skills? Thank you. So PS Craft, this is an incredibly important question. I don't think necessarily you need to have a background in art. I do, and most of the artists that are old school are, because back then we could only do an art degree. There was nothing else online. But I really strongly think that to be a compositor or a lighting artist, you do need to know photography. You do need to know composition and lighting and shadows. It's really important to know those things. You don't necessarily need to go to an art school. Maybe check my YouTube channel. I have done a few streams about books of photography and lighting. And I think if you read some books and you study some of the photography and lighting and cinematography for some of the best films in the world, I do think that you will start catching up cues on composition. And nothing beats buying a camera, Just ask Linny, like she's on the chat. She was one of the moderator. She's taking photos all the time, and I'm sure she's become so much better in compositing because of it, Like it's really important for you to take pictures so that you understand how light behaves and how shadows and grain and all those kind of things behave, so that you can apply those things into your compositing thing. It's really funny that you're asking that. Like, just yesterday, I'm currently finishing and grading a trailer that I'm directing for Rebellion Games. It's a game I can't tell you about, and yesterday I was doing that last night. I was like applying certain artifacts of lenses and putting some bokehs and putting some grain and putting some kind of like distortions on the lenses, just basically bringing it more to life to become a bit more realistic. I was doing that last night, and it's really, really cool to do those kind of things. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so Vinay says, hi Hugo, where can I get your course? So Vinay, stick around because we're going to do a giveaway of my course. Maybe you'll win it, And also my course is available on PayPal. So just contact me on social media. You can contact me on Discord. You can contact me on Patreon. You can contact me on Twitter or in Facebook, just contact me and I'll send you all the information about the course. You know, I will eventually have a new video posting how to buy the course. At the moment, I have not done that yet, and I'm gonna have a promotion on Saturday. Don't forget. Let's see here. I think I'm gonna leave it for now. I know there's more questions, so I'll leave it for now because I see there are too many questions. So I'm going to do the giveaway now. So let's do the giveaway, and then we can back to the questions next time we do a break. Okay? So let's do the giveaway now. Hopefully everyone has done the giveaway, and hopefully everyone is here. So let's just check. Let me just double check how many people did entries on this thing now so far. So let's see here. So the first giveaway, by the way, the first giveaway will be of my NUKE course. Okay, so we're going to start with the NUKE course, which is going to be the NUKE course, which I've completed, 150 classes. Then the second giveaway in an hour from now, it will be the NUKE Codex book. And then the third giveaway, to finish on a BAM, we're going to be giving away Nuke Indie from Foundry, okay? And don't forget that everyone that signed up to the giveaway, don't forget that you will be contacted by marketing of Foundry and BenQ in the future. I've actually written that on the terms and conditions, so I hope everyone understands that. If you are joining the giveaway, most chances is you're going to be contacted by marketing of either BenQ, Foundry, or Hugo's desk as well. And so BenQ, I will send out a discount for BenQ at the end when we finish all these workshops. You know, like when we finish, like I will send out a discount to everyone that signed up to the giveaway, so that I can like give away that discount. If anyone wants to buy a BenQ monitor, they'll have 10% discount. Okay, so let's do the giveaway. And this will be for my NUKE course. This will be the NUKE course I have. It's a NUKE course with 150 classes. So we have 500 entries. Obviously, they are not all of them here. I'm going to draw the winner here. So let's just see here. So I'm going to draw one winner. So let's just double check here. Oh, wait a minute. I need to do one thing here because my mistake, I did 6. It's only 3 winners, not 6. So I have, sorry, I need to, I should have done this before. But, and I have like, Nuke. Sorry. I'll put my truck for a second because I need to like tweak one thing here. Sorry that I'm doing this now. So, and then the, okay, cool. No, it's correct. Sorry about that. I had like a bit of a mistake here. I had a little bit of a mistake and I had to like tweak it. I had a little bit of a mistake on the winning thing. So back to business. So draw the winner. Let's just see here. So we're gonna be doing the NUKE course first. I'm not going to. I'm gonna limit. So at the moment I know it says it's 500 people sign up, but actually we only have 150 people as users. So there's only 150 people. So I'm going to like I'm gonna draw this thing and see who wins the course. So this will be for the NUKE course. Just draw it, see who wins. Hopefully not a student of mine. I hope so. Okay, cool. So I have a winner for it's a winner from Serbia, from Belgrade. So I have a winner for the Hugo's desk NUKE course. And this winner is called Dusan Bojevic. Dusan Bojevic. I hope you are here. Really hope you are here. Are you here? Hope you're here. So let's see if he's here. Oh yeah, he did. Okay, he's here. Cool. Congratulations. Are you one of my students? I hope you're not. I don't think you're my student. I don't remember your name. Don't remember your name. Cool. So congratulations, Dusan. You just want the. I guess let me ask you this. Are you interested on using my NUKE course? Are you interested on getting my NUKE course? Are you interested, or do you you're not interested in comp and you don't need it? Just let me know. Because if you're not interested, I can give it away to someone else. It's not a problem at all. We always have people that want it. So you let me know if you want the course or not. Okay. Let's see. I'm just waiting for him to answer. While I'm waiting for him to answer, I'm not. Thank you. Okay, cool. So he says that he wants it. I guess he says thank you. So I'm assuming he wants it. Cool. Excellent. Another certified customer then. Okay, cool. So Dusan, I'll contact you. I'll contact you on email. Okay. So at some point I will send you an email with the logins and everything. Okay. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. Okay, so let's go back to Nuke then. So we'll do another 30 minutes of Nuke straight, and then we'll do another break and another questions. Where's my phone? No, I don't know where my phone is. I need my phone. So sorry, just a second. Oh no, I left my phone somewhere else, didn't I? I did. You need to give me a second because I need to go and get my phone because I need my phone to control the stream. Sorry about that. So I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Just give me just 1 sec. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Didn't notice my phone was not here, and I need my phone to start this thing. Okay, to control some stuff. I'm not gonna say what it is, but okay, let's. That was fast, going up and down the stream, going up and down the thing. Oh my god. Okay, cool. So let's go back to this thing. Nuke. Where is Nuke? So we're gonna, again, like I said last time, we're gonna now do 30 minutes straight until we do the next giveaway. Oh, I'm out of breath now. I went so fast to get my phone. I'm sorry. A little bit out of breath. I don't want to have a heart attack while I'm live on the stream. Imagine that. I'm dying live on the stream. No one notices. I'm just like dead. So I shouldn't joke about that. Okay, so we've talked about the channels briefly. Obviously, understand that there's a lot more than this, you know. But to wrap up this, the channels really, you know, because we talked about the shuffling and we talked about how this operates. Let me just show you this actually in action, you know, so that you can kind of like understand why do we even do this and why would we even spend so much time developing this, you know. And for that, I'm going to open up another script, and this will be this one here, so that I can kind of show you what I mean. So I've showed you this script before, but the reason why we did this shuffling thing is, for example, I'll show a different one this time, so we can kind of like do this one here. So let's see here. So this is mental ray, redshift. Robust V-Ray, AOVs. Yeah. So for example, this shot. This is raw CG. This is from Arnold, for example. I'm just gonna like scrub a bit more to the front. This is untreated. There's no compositing. There's no flares. There's nothing here. So keep in mind that this, of course, doesn't look very good, but that's because it's not comped yet. It will be composite. It will have, you know, it doesn't have hair and everything, so it's just like straight out of the CG. So this is from a cinematic I worked a long time ago. So you see, the reason why we have all these shuffles is because you see here, we're shuffling every single pass one by one. And this is what we typically, and we talked about this many times on my streams, both on Twitch and both on YouTube. And as you can see here, like we kind of have this method where we shuffle each of the layers, like I did there on that shuffle example, where we shuffle each of the AOVs, each of the layers, the buffers into their respective RGBs, and then we basically rebuild them back again so that we can control them. So you see, in here we have just the diffuse, for example. Here we have just the specular. Here we have just the direct specular. Here we have just the indirect diffuse, and the refraction, and the reflection, and the subsurface scattering, and then the secondary subsurface scattering. So you see, as I merge it, you start by rebuilding layer by layer, by layer, by layer, by layer, by layer, by layer, until you get the resulting beauty. Now, the cool thing about this is that now, because you've done all of this, I can do things like this. I can now tweak on a buffer level by removing one of the passes without really filtering anything else. So, for example, in here I'm basically mixing in and out just the skin, for example. You know, or if I wanted to, I could, for example, go in here to my specular, for example, and I could have like just mixed in or mixed out the specular. So if you look at in here close to his nose, you can kind of see that I can kind of tweak how much the reflectivity of the specular is. And not to mention, I can even make really, really weird changes. I could like colorize that specular if I wanted to by putting a gamma node here. You know, for example, here, and let's say that, for example, I want that specular to be, you know, bluer, or I want that specular to be redder. So, for example, that's like a bluer. Imagine that there's like something that we need to composite in here that is a blue tint. So that means I can kind of like grade my specular to be blue. So that's kind of like why we are shuffling. And I'm sure I'm confusing everyone, and I'm sure, I hope not. I hope I'm not confusing everyone. But yeah. Just to keep in mind, and obviously I have a lot of examples here for the same thing. You know, like we discussed really briefly about this one last week, which was this one here, where we again shuffled everything. We have like just the raw GI, we have just the diffuse, we have just the raw light, we have just the raw reflection, we have just the reflection filter, just the subsurface scattering, just the specular, and all of them are all here one by one, you know, so that you can start by multiplying one and then you plus the other. We're not going to do this now, you know, how to build it up, but just so you know, this is how it works. And then you kind of start merging one by one by one so that you have a match to the beauty. Once you have the match to the beauty, and that's why you need the shuffles, then you can kind of like tweak each layer and do that. Obviously, this is the hardcore way of doing it, by you shuffling every single thing. There's other ways of doing this, which is, for example, here, like you could also minus stuff. So I'll give an example. The same way you can plus something, you can also minus it with a merge node. I know I'm getting ahead of myself, and don't worry, I will go back a bit. We'll then do we'll go backwards a bit as well. Don't worry, it won't be this complicated. But once we are, you know, what are you drinking? I'm drinking Coke. So once you have this is a beauty from Redshift. Someone on the chat was asking about Redshift. So this is a beauty from Redshift, which you have all the AOVs for it. They're all separated though. So this is, for example, the subsurface scattering, just the skin. So the same way you can plus something, and the way you merge AOVs, the way you merge layers is by plussing, by using a plus operation, which is a merge operation that is adding pixels, not just... I'll go through the merge node in a minute. So once you do that, the same way you have this, you can minus something. So for example, in here, I've removed the skin. You know, I started with that, remove the skin, and then I can plus back the skin again, you know. So there's also that way of compositing. You can either comp by rebuilding completely the AOV system, rebuilding all the shaders, or you can comp in this more fast way, which is where you basically remove one pass and put it back. Remove one pass and put it back. That's also an alternative for you to work. The advantage of this is that in here, for example, you can, for example, change something. Imagine that you put her green. If you really want to, you shouldn't, because you should go back to CG to do that. But you see now, I started with her, and now she has green skin. So there's a lot of ways of doing this. The same way that I have now here, for example, this is the bounce and the specular. I can also minus the specular. I can also minus the reflections, for example, tweak the reflections and put them back, and then put them back again. So it is possible for you to do a lot of drastic changes to the CG. I know this looks a bit ridiculous. She looks like the She-Hulk. But there are ways of you doing drastic changes by just doing a few nodes and not having to rebuild the entire system. Obviously, this is a can of worms, because obviously this purple hair should be reflected and the green skin should be reflected. So it is a can of worms. You shouldn't really do these kind of like changes. If you're gonna do these kind of changes, you should really consider perhaps going back to CG and actually, you know, changing the materials and changing the shaders and actually doing those kind of things. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. And I'm hoping I'm not confusing you too much. I'm hoping that this is not, you know, I hope you're all with me. So okay, so now we've discussed, you know, channels briefly, of course. And so now we've also discussed that we merge the channels with a plus operation. Now let's go back to our original comp so that I can kind of talk about a bit more things of how to comp that shot, because I still also want to talk about pre-multiplication, for example. But before I do pre-multiplication, I want to go back a bit to the basics again and just show you really, really quickly, you know, how to render something out, because we haven't done that yet. Because, you know, so far we've discussed how to do certain things, but this is a Nuke for Dummies tutorial, and I just want to make sure everyone kind of at least understands how to save something and render something. So I'm going to go back to the monster that we were comping, which was the one on the front, I believe. It was this one. I'm just going to open up. I'm going to save this. Okay, cool. So remember last time we did this amazing comp? It wasn't an amazing comp, I'm joking around. So this is just like a really, really rough comp. It's what we call a pre-comp. It's just A over B, okay? And so one thing I do need to change is this. By mistake, I have the wrong render here. So I have multiple versions of this render, and I just need to go and pick up the real one. Let's just see here. Oh yeah, no, wait a minute. Yeah, so this is 1211128. So I think it actually is not this one. Sorry. I opened up the wrong script. That was not the script I wanted to open. I opened the wrong script. Sorry about that. So this is the script I want to open. And actually, in fact, I want to use this one here instead. So I'm just going to reverse this, and that's it. So this is the comp we have. Remember, when we comped this, we were discussing that this was just an A over B, because the merge node is just A over B. And remember that we had, you know, and obviously when you comp, you don't usually comp this way. Normally, one thing, because this was just me showing you, normally what you do is you keep the background as it is on the background, and then you pipe something. Normally, I mean, you don't have to do this, you know. But when you're like merging several layers together, you know, like this, you kind of want to get used to this kind of methodology where you have your background, which is the main pipe of your script, and then anything that comes in on the front goes from the left, like the right side. Reason is right side is because normally, you know, sorry, I'm just getting confused now. So you see, when you put up the merge node here directly, you see the B pipe is already here. So it is kind of like usual that you either put the A pipe like that, or you can put it also on this side. All this, obviously, be aware that this side has a mask input, so you might want to keep that free. And also this one has an A2, but I never use the extra inputs of the merge node because you want to control layer by layer. So I normally comp like this. I have my background, then I start putting things into my pipe, merging it. So this would be our comp, so which is him like scaring the bejesus out of that guy with the flashlight. So let me just leave it on this side here. Okay, so how do you render this? Remember last time we talked about when I press the S button, which is the properties of my script. So on the properties, I've already kind of locked off the kind of like frame range, you know. The read node, like the actual CG, has 1001 by 1160. So that's the range of my comp. I'm going to change this to 24 frames per second. That's the actual frame rate of my comp. And so I already established that that's my comp. It's locked range so that when you bring in new stuff, it doesn't change the frame range anymore. And it's locked to 2.5K. It's 24 frames per second. So if you want to save this, we already discussed how to save it. It's already like, I'm going to just do a version up. So I'm going to just do comp new version. So this is now version 2. And now if you want to save this as a sequence or as a QuickTime, you need to use something called the write node. The same way we have the read node, we have the write node. Not the write with an R, it's the write with W. So you can go to the write node by going into this menu here by pressing write or pressing the W button. So I'm going to just place the write node here, and then you can plug it in. Now, the write node is pretty self-explanatory, but there's a couple of little things that you want to consider before you start using it. First of all, when you plug it in, nothing is happening. You need to give it a file destination where you want to save it. So I'm going to press the little button here. I'm going to go into my desktop to just render it on my desktop. Now, inside my desktop, I'm going to make a new folder. It's going to be called render. Obviously, you need to render it wherever you feel comfortable where it should be rendered. And then this is really important. When you're rendering it, I normally always use the same name of the file, so of the script. So you see that script, the script here is called Nuke for Dummies, Oak Lake Monster Comp 2. And so I'm going to use the same thing, okay? So I'm going to just press save. On my write node, I'm going to go to the browser, going to go to that folder, and then when I'm saving it, I'm going to call it exactly the same name, just because it's better for you to keep, sorry, just zooming in this wrong. It's better for you to keep the name of the file matching the script, because that way you know how to go backwards and actually tweak that script if you need to. So in this case, it's Nuke for Dummies _ Oak Lake Monster _ comp _ version 2. The only difference here would be that in here, instead of .nk, I will put another underscore, and then I need to choose what the extension is. Now, keep in mind this. If I just put .move, you know, if I put like .move, that will make a QuickTime. Normally, in the industry, we don't do a QuickTime. Normally, we do a file sequence. And so if you want to do a file sequence, you can't just say you want an EXR, or you can't just say a JPEG. You know, you can't do that, because if you do this, if you just put .jpeg, it will just do one frame. It won't do a sequence. So you actually need to tell him that this is a sequence, okay? For you to tell him what this is a sequence, you actually have to give him you know, an actual range of values that you want. So remember, this script starts at 1001, so it's 4 digits, the frame rate, the frame range that we have. So I'm going to put 4 digits on my hashtag. I'm going to put 4 hashtags, and then I'm going to put a dot, and then I'm going to put whatever file format I want to use. In this case, because I'm rendering this to maybe send it to DaVinci, or maybe to send it to a colorist, or maybe to finish it somewhere else, and because EXR is a lossless format, it doesn't lose any quality, I'm going to do the name of the file, hashtag dot hash 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 for 4 digits, and then .exr. Is that understood? I hope so. Once I do that, like, I'm going to press save, and automatically it knows that it's an EXR, and you see it filled in all the other settings, so you can see that it's only rendering RGB. Remember, the EXRs have the ability to render all the buffers, so you could, if you wanted to, render all the AOVs if you wanted to, but I'm not doing that. I'm just doing RGB. I'm not even rendering an alpha channel. And then in here we have some choices. You can leave it at 16-bit or 32 if you really want to. Not necessary, since this is not... This CG is done in 16, and also the footage is only 16 as well. It's not even 16. It's the old Blackmagic camera. I think it's only 12 or something. So, and then the compression level, you have kind of a lot of compressions. I don't want to like spend too much time on this, because there's a lot of documentation out there about this, but... Basically, what happens here is the 2 first ones, which are the most typical ones, are zipping the file itself, not the image, okay? So the image is flawless. It has no problem. So if you put none, the EXR will be humongous. There's no compression. So your EXR will be very big, but there will be no compression, which means the EXR will be large, but it will be the fastest to read if you have a fast hard drive, because it will have no decompression and incompression when it's reading and writing. If you use zip 1, which is the most typical one, it zips just the EXR after the fact, so it doesn't compress the image. Now, there's other ones here, but the most common ones really are like a lot of people use DWAA and DWAB. These are DreamWorks formats, and basically what they do is they allow you to put compression on EXR like a JPEG, but keeping dynamic range. And I know I'm confusing some people, but this is a really clever way of you doing proxy renders. You know, they shouldn't be used. This format shouldn't be used for delivery. It should only be used for proxy or for pre-comp. But these are also really good. I'm going to go with zip 1 just for safety and just for simplicity. Once you're happy with your naming convention, happy with your file format, I know that for those of you that have never used Nuke before, and those of you that are used to After Effects and Photoshop, you're probably thinking, wow, this is really complicated, right? It is complicated because, you see, the reason why Nuke is complicated is because Nuke is so customizable. Everything is so tweakable. You know, I can tweak the zip compression, I can tweak the data type, I can tweak the file. Everything is so granular, and that's why it becomes confusing. But it's really powerful because you need that granularity. You need that extra options if you're going to use it in production. That's the thing, you know. So yeah. So I'm sorry I'm interrupting my stream, but Sajal, I just wanted to let you know that the course is not going to be on Patreon. No, I don't have the course on Patreon. So stop telling people that the course is on Patreon. People can contact me on Patreon, or they can contact me on Twitter. The course will be for sale on PayPal, and I need to post the link for people to buy it. Okay, so the course will be on PayPal, and the course can be bought directly on PayPal using credit cards or using PayPal. But I will have a link that I will post on social media for people to buy the course with the promotion of this year's anniversary, of my anniversary. It won't be for sale on Patreon. I will post it on Patreon, the link, and I will post it on Twitter and on Facebook and on YouTube. But don't tell people to go to Patreon to buy the course, because the course will not be for sale on Patreon. Patreon is just for supporting the channel. The course will be purchased on the link that I will post to everyone on the 4th of September. So at midnight on the 4th of September, I will post on every social media that I have the link how to get the course, okay? Just keep that in mind, okay? But if people... I'm sorry, I really apologize that I interrupted the tutorial. It's just because I saw Sajal saying that, and I want to just make sure that he wasn't telling people things that were wrong. If you want to read more about the course, you can read it on this link. This link explains how the course exists and what it does, and it has testimonials. It has, like, who does the course. It has even, like, the teachers, you know, it has like the full breakdown of every class that we're gonna have. It has the class overviews. It explains everything about the course. But for you to buy it, you need to click on this link to PayPal, and then if you press on it, you then go to PayPal, and then you can buy the course. Don't buy it yet though, because on the 4th of September it will be 43% off. Okay, so keep that in mind, that on the 4th of September, to celebrate my anniversary, I will do a 43% discount on this course. So don't buy it today. Please don't. Otherwise, I'll refund you. So, but I just wanted to let Sajal know that is the place in Patreon that you can read about the course, not to buy the course yet. Okay? So, just wanted everyone to know that. On Patreon, you can know about the course, but you can't buy it there, because I now am putting it on PayPal. I had so many problems on Patreon, you know, like... Some people couldn't buy it, and it was like refusing payment, and so I gave up doing it on PayPal. It's really difficult to do it. Anyway, I am really sorry that I interrupted the stream, so I'm going to go back to Nuke. Okay, so as I was saying, a lot of options, right? And I know it's... And there's other options we haven't even talked about. You can also, like, render stereo sets, so you have a 3D stereo right, left eye as well. You can even have... You can do EXR 1.1, EXR 2.2, you know, you can do all these kind of things on this setting. We're not doing that now. So now that I'm happy, I'm going to press render. Now, once the render thing opens, it has a lot of options. You can either do the global, which is the settings of your project. You can do input, which is going to render the frames that is connected to the pipe. I'm going to do global. Or, of course, you can do viewers, you can do custom, you can do all those things. You can also do, render frame server if you have it set it up. So that means it will render on multiple instances of Nuke in your script. So if you have that set up, it will use multiple nukes to render the scene. You can even set it up to render it on the farm if you want to. And that's it really. Like, I'm now going to press OK, and it's now going to render this scene. So now it's going to render frame by frame. It's basically going to go through the script. Now, while it's rendering, notice how it actually tells you information of what's happening on the render. Notice how the nodes blink, especially if I go back a bit. You see that they blink? The way that they blink is because Nuke is like telling you which operations is being done at this stage. And also the blinking is really useful because then you can see what is taking longer. So if you see something blinking a lot, that means that's the most heavy part of your script. So this gives you a lot of information and know-how of how a script operates, okay? No, it's okay, Sajal. It's not that you were a bad moderator, it's that I didn't tell you. It's not your fault, it's my fault. It's always my fault, okay? It's always my fault. Some people are asking that they can't use PayPal. Don't worry, if you can't use PayPal, contact me. We'll figure out some other way, okay? I don't want anyone to not be able to buy the course if they can't. So just contact me. I'll figure out some other way. So now this is rendering. And as you can see, it's rendering frame by frame. Now, the advantage of rendering frame by frame as well, for those of you that are Nuke newbies, Nuke dummies, I guess. I'm sorry, I don't want to like offend anyone. The advantage of doing frame by frame is because, and that's why you never do a sequence, right? So, because if this crashes, you then can just resume where you left off, So if imagine the computer crashes, and oh my God, it crashed. I can now just open up this thing and go to my read, and I can see, okay, it rendered all the way to 10 to 84. So I can now go back and start on 85. So let's do 84 because maybe it didn't finish that frame. And now I can render just from that frame on. So that is the advantage of rendering, frame by frame. And that's why production, visual effects, companies always do frame by frame. You only do the sequences once you have the long render done. Because you see, this is taking a few minutes. Obviously, if you do a really complex script, it might take an hour to render. It might take 2 hours to render. It might even take 5 hours to render. It doesn't know. It doesn't, because this is a 4K comp, like 2.5K comp. So it might take a long time to render. So you want to make sure you leave it rendering. All the sequences are being done. And then when it's done, that's the time you're actually going to be able to do it, like as a sequence, as a quick time, which I will do after this. I know this is really like Nuke 101, but these kind of things is why you're here. This is Nuke for Dummies, So, okay, so Nuke Bees, I guess. Nuke Bees. I like that. Nuke Bees. That's actually quite cool. Okay, this is taking forever, as you see. This is the funny part of it, isn't it? Because Nuke is really not very good with multipass. I'm going to show you. So this is rendering now, right? So if I go back to my computer here, notice how my computer is using my 56 cores or being used by 16%. So that means Nuke is only using about 20% of my 56 cores. Nuke is not very good with multi-threading. It's really bad with multi-threading because the problem with this is that a lot of nodes in Nuke or not multi-threaded. A lot of nodes are actually single-threaded because they're old. So keep that in mind. Okay, now this is done. I'm going to open up a read node and I'm going to bring in the comp that we just rendered. So now this is the render itself of the thing that we just did. And so let's just reload here. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So why is it not... Sorry. Okay, that's fine. Okay, cool. So now I can now play back. So this is my final comp. This is like, well, not final comp, my first comp. This is the A/B composite that I just did. So this now lives on your hard drive as a file sequence, as an EXR. The advantage of an EXR is that in EXR, when you render it, it still retains all the dynamic range. So if I lower, you see, it still has all the dynamic range of my image. And that's the advantage of having EXRs, You see, if you look at the actual highlights of this monster, you see that, It still has dynamic range. Now, there's no dynamic range on the lamp. That's because the camera can't take more, you know, so the camera is actually limited by the sensor of the camera. So when you comp these two things, you notice that the fires, or actually, you know, the fires also don't have a lot of dynamic range. You see, they have a little bit, but not much. So in reality, when you comp this, you should also clamp these values so that they match with the lights. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. I was just like showing you how to render. So now that I have a sequence, and I'm gonna go to my desktop to show you that sequence. Let me just open this up here. So if I go to my desktop here, I have a render, and you see these are the frames. These are the EXRs, which are zip 1, and as you can see, they're quite big, 16 megs, because they're just zip 1. You could have made them much smaller, you know, if you wanted a proxy version. So if you don't need high quality, and if you don't mind to have a bit of a low quality, you could put DWAA or DWAB, and then, you know, which would be a 45% compression here. So for example, if I re-render this now with the same exact sequence, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but I'm just going to render a few frames just to show you. I'm going to now stop and go back to my viewer. You see how the DreamWorks compression format is only 4 megs each frame, and the zip one is 617. So you see, it's much smaller when you use DreamWorks compression, and you still retain the dynamic range. The only disadvantage is that on certain moments, you'll have compression on the image itself. So you might have some artifacts in some places. It's really clean, though. It's really good. So I would recommend you to use DreamWorks compression the whole time while you're working, like doing EXRs, and then at the end, you just do a zip 1 EXR. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm going to do a sequence. So now what would happen is you can either take this EXR to DaVinci. That would be the best choice, especially because DaVinci is free. So you can just download DaVinci and take it there. Or you can take it to Nuke Studio if you prefer to. Or you can render it just in Nuke as well. Like, I know a lot of you use Windows, so you can't do a QuickTime, but I can do a QuickTime on my Nuke because I have a Mac. So what would happen here would be, again, I'm going to use the same exact name again, and I'm gonna go in here and render it on the same folder as well, but this time, instead of having the hashtags, I'm gonna just put dot move. My timer is already blinking here because half an hour is gone, but I'll finish something first. So, and as you can see now, this automatically made a QuickTime. Obviously, it's making a ProRes. I know in Windows you can't really do ProRes easily. I can because I have a Mac. But in this case, I'm going to choose to leave everything default for now, because obviously if you were delivering for broadcast, you would have probably delivered in Rexon 09, not in Gamma 2.2. You would have probably changed this, but this depends on the delivery you're doing. You can also do a ProRes of whatever type of flavor you want. You could do 444 XQ 12-bit if you want to. And yeah, and then just choose the color space you prefer. I'm going to leave it in default. Once this is done, I can now press render, do global, and then it should be much faster to do the QuickTime because the processing of the frames has been done. So it's actually really rendering really quickly in terms of just rendering the sequence. I'm going to take a break, don't worry. I am doing a break just now because my timer just went off. So we're going to do another break. But I was just like wrapping this up so we don't interrupt it. So if I now go to my Finder, you'll see that there's now a QuickTime here. And this is a ProRes QuickTime, which has the shot that we just created. So obviously, remember, this is not the final comp. I haven't done anything to this comp yet. You know, we haven't really tweaked anything. This is just like A over B with a bit of defocus. It's not really perfect. Notice how there's a frame that is broken. That's because I stopped the render and of course that frame is broken. So I would have had to like do that frame again. And you see, this is the advantage. You see, this is the advantage of doing sequences, even in After Effects. You see, I can now pinpoint and notice where that frame is. Okay, so let's just find out. So that frame is probably here. Well, where is it? I think it's like in the beginning. Yeah, it's in the beginning. Let's just do the XRs here, and then there you go. That's the frame. So that's frame 1008. So I'm gonna just like go in here to my render and just render just that frame. 1008. Render just that frame. That frame is now rendered. I'm now gonna look into the read node and reload the read node. You see it's still broken. I'm gonna reload it. Now it's perfect. And now I'm just going to go in here and render it again. So I'm going to just render global, render the QuickTime again. I'll probably want to close the QuickTime because I have it open here. So I probably want to close it. So once this is rendered, okay, cool. Once this is rendered, I can now go in here and open the QuickTime. And now it should not have that frame. So you see, this is the advantage of broken frames. You see, imagine if your farm breaks a frame, if something happens, you can just render just one frame and then continue. And that's the advantage of using file sequences. Now, obviously, this is just not even scratching the surface. Obviously, we haven't talked about DPXs. We haven't talked about ACEs. We haven't talked about TIFFs. We haven't talked about EXRs. I mean, this is Nuke for Dummies. I'm just showing you certain parts. I am expecting you to like do a Nuke course with someone, If you want, you can join my course. Very welcome for you to join my course. It's 150 classes. You'll learn a lot more than this. But there's also other courses out there. You can also learn with the great master Steve Wright. He's amazing. He teaches a lot of Nuke Basic. You can also learn with Victor Perez. Victor Perez also teaches really good Nuke as well on his course. So there's people out there which can help you. FXPHC also has some nice Nuke courses as well for you to learn these kind of things. So keep that in mind that this is just scratching the surface. You need to kind of like go deeper to learn all these things. Anyway, let's do a break because it's been another hour already since we did the last break, and I need to stretch my legs. I am sorry about that. So, and I already know just by looking at what we've done so far, we've been online for how long now? We've been online for 2 hours and 15 minutes now. And so I know that there will be a part 3. So there will be a part 3 next week because I'm not going to be able to finish. I still want to talk about pre-multiplication. I still want to talk about grading. And then I kind of still want to kind of put it together a little bit and do a little bit of a small workshop. But yeah, I'm trying to like trying my best to help you with everything I can, and trying my best to do an organized stream. Like I said, we're doing breaks, then we do some Q&A, then we do a giveaway, and then we do a solid half an hour of Nuke compositing without any breaks. Okay, so we just did that once, and now we did it twice. So we've now done a solid 1 hour of Nuke compositing without any interruptions. So I'm trying my best to do it, so that people don't get upset by me interrupting all the time. Okay, I'm gonna do a stretch my legs. I'm a bit tired of my legs. So when we come back, we're gonna do more Q&A, and then when we come back, we do a giveaway, and the giveaway will be for the book. From Daniel, NUKE Codex. Once we do that, then we do another half an hour compositing, and then after that, we do the big giveaway, which is the NUKE Indie license that the Foundry was very kind to offer us. Okay, so don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna do some questions after, and then the giveaway of the book. And I'll see you in about 10 minutes. Okay. Thank you so much for sticking around, and thank you so much for being here. I'll be right back in about 10 minutes. Go and stretch your legs. Go and drink something, go and rest your eyes for a minute, okay? I'll see you very soon. Hello, hello, hello. I am back. I am. Wait. Well, look at that. That's weird. I am back now, everyone. Thank you so much for still being here with me. As I explained from the beginning, I'm trying to be as organized as I can. So we are now going to do some Q&A while we're waiting for the next giveaway. Next giveaway is the NUKE Codex book given to us very kindly by Daniel L. Smith. So he's going to give you a digital version of this book. It's a really good book. So you should check her out. And then the last giveaway of the day will be a Nuke Indie license from Foundry. And of course, we're going to do some more Nuke compositing. So a little housekeeping just for a second. So thank you so much. I must thank some of my new members in YouTube. So I would love to thank Neo Gemini, which is a new member of Hugo's desk on YouTube. Thank you so much for being a new member. Much appreciated. And also, thank you so much. Wait, sorry, my phone is like telling me things. Thank you so much to Hamad Mansour for becoming a member on YouTube as well. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. And I see some people on the chat are saying 43%. Yes, that is right. I'm going to be 43 on Saturday. That's going to be my anniversary, 43 years. And so I'm going to do a 43% discount on the Nuke course. Just on that day, no other day. The other days, it will just revert back to the normal price. Also, I would love to thank Dusan Bojevic, which was one of the winners of the giveaway. He won the Nuke course. So congratulations and thank you so much for becoming a member. Much appreciated. Okay, cool. So now that we've done that, please stick around for, as I've been saying to everyone, I'm trying to be disorganized. So now I'm going to do a Q&A for maybe like 5 minutes and then the giveaway. So I would say that if you want to stick around for the Nuke compositing, maybe wait in about 10 minutes. I'll come back to Nuke and then I'll do an half an hour straight without interruptions again. And that will be the last half an hour. So I can already tell everyone that I'm going to be back next week because I need to do part 3. Okay? Now, I'm not entirely sure if part 3 will be on Wednesday. It might be on Tuesday. I still need to work out because I need to go back to Twitch as well. So I will announce to everyone. Don't worry. Everyone will know when it will happen. So let's do a few questions while we're waiting for people to sign up for the giveaway. Next year will be 45. Yeah, I guess some people are waiting for me to hit 100. Man, I am sorry to tell you, I don't think I will ever be 100. I don't think I'll be able to get that. Okay, let's go back to the questions. You guys have a lot of questions. Like, you guys can't shut up. Okay, let's see here. KZLCR asks, if you're not removing with shuffle and it's more like copying something, then when do you add plus it back? Does it overwrite? Or why does it having it twice now mess things up? No, it's not really like that. Don't worry, we will go through this. Even if we don't go through this today, we'll go through it next week. It's more like you're basically bringing into an RGB and then you can copy it. You can merge it with the merge node, with the plus node. That's kind of how it works. We'll do that in a second after we go through the Q&A and after we go through these things. So just let's just see here. Yeah, okay, sorry. Okay, cool. So another question here, this time from Hamed Aboradi. I am so sorry if I'm mispronouncing any name, okay? I'm really sorry if I'm doing that. So Hamed is asking, is there any plan to making something like a challenge or a competition, providing some footage and review the entries? I think it's a good idea. Yes, Ahmad. I have that planned. Yes, I have that planned. So if you remember the workshop I did a couple of months ago, which was the racetrack, this was the CG that Sajel made. I am going to do a competition like that. I am. And I'm going to ask Foundry if they want to give away another Nuke license with that competition. So even if it's not that, I might do the competition with BenQ and maybe try to get a monitor for them to give away. So I'll see if that happens. Like, let's see if either the Foundry with a license or BenQ with a monitor. If none of them are interested on doing that giveaway with the competition, I might chip in with something. So we'll see. But I'm definitely planning to do that for sure. Let's see here. Do you know of any books, websites that discuss how a compositing program actually does everything behind the scenes, doing the math? I don't think that exists, my friend. I don't think there's any books that actually go through the mathematical side of compositing. I mean, I would say that Ron Brickman's book is quite good and Steve Wright's book is quite good, but they don't really go through the math. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't think there is any books. Maybe there is, and if someone knows, like, go for it. Like, go for it and ask, and chip away on the chat. Let's see here. Naimol Hook, I hope that's your name. Naimol Hook is saying, what are the junior comp artists? What or the junior comp artists do most of the time? What mid and seniors do? So junior artists are support artists. So junior artists basically work on cleanup, rotoscoping, prep. They're basically preparing the plates for the mid-level and the seniors. So basically they're cleaning up all the tracking markers, or maybe removing a rig, or maybe doing some rotoscoping, or maybe doing some keying, doing like the tasks that take longest. The mid-level compositor will do shots by getting assistance from the junior, and then the senior most likely will do several shots, or maybe they will do the most complex shots. And then you have, of course, also a compositing lead, which oversees all the comps of a specific sequence. Then you have compositing sequence lead, which is of a specific sequence of the film. And then you have compositing supervisor, and so on. It goes on up and up and up and up. Neko-chan asks, can you extend till Sunday, please? Okay, what, for the promotion? Could you extend till Sunday, please? Also, for those who don't have PayPal, any different methods? Yeah, so I don't think I can extend because it's supposed to be my anniversary. But I am happy to discuss other payments. Just contact me. Contact me already on social media. You can contact me on Twitter. You can contact me on Facebook. You can contact me on Patreon. You can contact me on YouTube. Just contact me privately and I'll work something out. Don't worry. Ronnie Asensio is asking, I can't see on Patreon the course. Can you help me? So I already kind of answered this before, but I'm going to put, the course is not on Patreon. I'm going to just keep repeating that. The course is not on Patreon anymore. It used to be, okay? The course used to be on Patreon. It's not anymore because I had some issues with Patreon. So if you want to know something about the course, Ronnie, that's the page, so I'm going to just like tag you here. Ronnie, are you still here? Yeah, Ronnie, more info for the course. And then if you want to really know more about the course and actually the plates of the course and everything, I have a YouTube video. Please remember that I have not updated this YouTube video, okay? So this YouTube video still says that you need to buy it on Patreon. That is not the case anymore. I'm not selling it on Patreon anymore. The reason for that is because Patreon was becoming a pain. It was not easy to sell things on Patreon. It became such a problem that I kind of gave up to sell it on Patreon. And on Patreon is just for like simpler stuff, like just supporting the channel, So if you want to know more about the course and see the footage that you get, here is a trailer. So I'm tagging you, Ronnie, with the video and the thing. Now, if you want to buy the course, just contact me or follow on the post that I've posted there. Just follow the link to PayPal, but don't do it yet. Don't do it yet because I'm having the promotion on Saturday. Don't forget. Okay, so Reda Haskoiri Original says, I need to export camera track data from NUKEX to Blender. How do I do that? I have no idea. I don't use Blender. I'm sure people on the audience maybe can help you, but I'm assuming if you want to export the data from camera in Nuke, what you can do is you can do a right geo. So you can actually do an FBX export if you want to, or you can do an alembic export from the camera animation. So once you have your camera tracked, you can then export it as an alembic or export it as an FBX into Blender. I'm assuming Blender can read alembic. I think it does. I hope so. So yeah. So that's the thing. Okay. So Deibi Bolonos, Deibi Bolonos, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, asks, which is actual best color space to work in comp? Well, the best way to work in comp would be ACES CG or ACES CC, anything with ACES in terms of the maximum color space that you can get, which would be ACES linear. That would be the best way because that's has the biggest range of color, you know. I need to do a shout out as well. Thank you so much, Felix, for becoming a new member on YouTube. Much appreciated for becoming a new member. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. Everyone here knows that, you know, if you become a member on YouTube or if you become a Twitch subscriber on my Twitch stream or if you become a Patreon, your name will be credited on my videos. So at the end of the videos, you'll see your name there on the list. So thank you so much for that. And of course, you have some fabulous emojis as well. You have access to these beautiful emojis as well that I have created over the years, you know, and which are really funky and funny. Okay, so let's do a few more, and then we're gonna go back to the giveaway. So, can we get a discount on the book? That would not be with me. You have to call Daniel and ask him that, because I'm not the one that does discounts. I'm just giving one copy of the book. Sorry. Sorry about that. So this was a question from SMVFX. I can't give you a discount to the book. The book is not mine. So you have to ask Daniel about that. So Dewey Nugin, I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, is asking just a funny question. How long have you been on the industry? So I've been working since 99 in the industry. So I've been working now for 22 years. Yes, I've been working since 1999. Obviously, I already was doing things in 98 and 97, but I don't count them as part of the industry. In 96 was when I started using After Effects and doing some personal work and some video art. So I would say that I was already doing things, but I can't consider that real. You know, I wasn't really like yeah, that was not real. Like, I started getting a paycheck in 99. That's the thing. I started working as an After Effects artist in 99. So that would be when I think I started really. Although I was already doing things since I was a teenager. I've been filming and doing things with like I was 15. Okay, cool. I think we're gonna wrap up. There's too many questions. I can't go through all these things. One quick question, people asking me if we can get a certification. No, you cannot get a certification when you do a course because the Foundry doesn't offer certifications by doing a course. No, if you've seen a course that says that gives you a certification, they're lying. Because the Foundry does not allow for courses to do certifications at this time. There's no course in the world that is allowed to give you a certification. If XPHD used to do that, but they're not doing that anymore. So there's no courses, although I know some people are selling courses saying that it's a certification course, but it's not. What you can do is you can be a certified teacher and then teach. But you cannot make people certified. That only the Foundry can do, and they're making that work, but they haven't done that yet. Just so everyone knows. I will say this, though. You do not need a certification to be a Nuke artist. Look at me. I'm not certified, and I still teach Nuke, and I'm pretty good at Nuke. So I don't think you need to be certified. I mean, I was the head of Nuke at the mill, and I was never certified. So you see, if I can be the head of Nuke without a certification, I'm sure you can also be a Nuke artist without a certification. You know, that would be what I would say. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back to the giveaway. I'm gonna do a quick giveaway and see who wins this time. So let's see here. So the giveaway this time will be for the book, for the NUKE Codex book, which Daniel Smith offered. So he was so kind to offer. This is the book we're doing the giveaway today. So the digital version, not the physical version. So I'm going to draw up a winner right now, and we have 178 people that are potential winners. I'm going to do the book. Let's draw this up and see who wins. Okay, so winner from India. So we have a winner from India. So let's see here. The NUKE Codex goes to, drum roll. So drum roll would be, it goes to Dark Noise 55. So thank you so much, Dark Noise 55. Congratulations, you just won the NUKE Codex digital book. So check your email at some point in the next few days. I will send you a code for you to redeem on the shop, and then you can get the digital version. Don't forget that this book actually includes NUKE tutorials as well. So the book comes with some videos as well. So you can get the book from Daniel, and then you get access to some tutorials from Daniel as well. He's an instructor in NUKE. He's also very good. So this book is pretty cool. So congratulations. I hope you don't have the book. Do you have the book already? You might already have the book. I hope you don't have the book. Are you here, Dark Noise 55? I hope you are. If you're not here, I will give it to someone else. Are you here, Dark Noise? So Dark Noise 55, say something. Say something. Where is Dark Noise? Are you here? Dark Noise 55, that's your tag on Twitch. I don't know what your tag is on YouTube. Oh, Daniel Smith is here as well. Hi, Daniel. So Daniel Smith, the author of this amazing book, is also on the stream. Thank you so much for being here, man, and thank you so much for giving away a book. And people, go and buy this book. This book is amazing. Everyone needs to go and buy the book. I'll put the link on the chat so that you guys can go and buy the book. Let's see here. NUKE Codex. NUKE Codex Nodes Within Nodes. This is the book link. You guys are interested, I'll put it on the chat as well so you can go and buy it. But I don't think he's here. I don't think he's here. Oh, it's Sudek. Okay, you know him. Okay, fine. So is he here actually? Because if he's not here, I'm gonna have to like do this again. If he's not here, I hope he is. Hope you're here. Otherwise, we're gonna give it to someone else. 13 hours. Daniel, thank you so much for giving away the book. Yeah, it's amazing. Okay, cool. You're here. So, well, congratulations. You won the book. And also thank Daniel, because he's on the chat as well. You've won the NUKE Codex. It's a bit defocused. Sorry about that. So, it's here. Obviously, you didn't win this version. This is the physical version, which I'm a sucker for physical stuff. If you want to buy the digital version, I've dropped the link on the chat as well for you to buy it. Daniel's made a lot of effort to make this really lovely book, so please go and buy it. Please don't pirate it. Please go and buy the book. And you get access to a lot of tutorials as well when you buy it. Okay, cool. Okay, so I am going to then go back to NUKE, and this will be the last thing. So we're going to do another half an hour of NUKE, and then we'll do a break. Once we do the break, we will do the last giveaway of the day, which is a NUKE Indie license given to us by Foundry. This will be the last giveaway of the day, and also it will be the last thing we do today. So I already know that we're not going to finish the NUKE workshop. I knew that. I already knew that. So because we've basically did an hour and a half, we're going to do an hour and a half in total. So it's going to be 3 sections of 30 minutes. So we'll be back next week, most likely either on Tuesday or Wednesday with the rest of the NUKE tutorial. But for the moment, we're going to continue with some more NUKE compositing for about half an hour. I will not take any questions or even interruptions while we're doing those half an hour, so that just to respect everyone that is watching the stream. So I'm going to start now doing this for now. So congratulations to everyone that has won things so far. And let's go back to NUKE here and just continue where we left off. Okay, cool. I'm going to just put a timer as well so that I don't go overwhelmed. So at the end as well, we'll also do a couple of more questions as well. So don't worry about that, okay? So we've been going on for... How long have we been going on now? We've been going on for... Yeah, close to 3 hours. Yeah, that's going to be like my limit is going to be like 3 hours and a half. I'm old, you know, like I'm old. I get pretty tired. Okay, cool. I can see Daniel is also like working the chat. So yeah, guys, go and support Daniel. Daniel made a huge effort with this amazing book. So Go in support, Daniel. Someone is asking if I can get 60% discount. No. I'm not 60, okay? I'm 43. When I'm 60, you can get 60% discount, but then I have to be 60, right? So it will be still in 15 years from now. And by then, my course will be a relic. It doesn't matter anymore. It won't even matter anymore. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go back to Nuke. So let's call the chat off and let's just get on with Nuke. Okay. So now you've learned how to comp something really simple, A over B. We've rendered as an EXR, and then we brought in the EXR, and then we made a QuickTime out of it. So that's kind of where we are right now. Now let's start talking a bit about how we merge things when we have multiple layers in CG or in footage or in everything. Don't worry, I am going to come back to this comp a bit later. What I want to do really is to comp this comp as a little small workshop. Most likely will be next week then, I guess, because I won't have the time to do it today, but that was my plan. My plan was to comp this shot here, you see. I have these fellas, these lovely fellas here, and then I actually have the comp here. Where's the comp? Yeah, so this is the shot that most likely we will wrap up this Nuke for Dummies thing. This is, by the way, not comped by me. I'm not getting any credits for this. This was composited. It was done by my students at Campus I-12. They were the ones that rendered the CG, composite this shot, and this is the final version that they've achieved. This is the final comp that we've delivered for the trailer. Obviously, there's one thing missing, though, here, which is the... sorry, I forgot about that. The 245 aspect ratio, which is this one here. So that's the final delivery that we did. So this is the shot that we did back then, which I really want to kind of like go through it a little bit because it has a little bit of everything. It has a little bit of roto, and it has a little bit of CG, and it has a little bit of like defocusing, a little bit of depth of field. It's a relatively simple shot, and I think it's going to be a nice little exercise for us to kind of like work our way through the Nuke for Dummies thing, because then, you know, because this shot requires a bit of merging. It requires a bit of depth of field, a bit of grading. So it still holds up quite nicely, I think. It's a really well-achieved composite that my students made. It was delivered in 2.5K back then. And I love this little detail that we have, like, when the monster is here, like, there's like a little breath of like vapor coming out of his mouth. It's a really nice touch. This was Vapor by Action VFX, by the way. So it's pretty cool, actually. I like this a lot. I think this is quite well achieved. And there's some nice rotoscoping happening here as well from my students. So I like this. Although this is a bit old, you know, this is like from 2016, so it's like already 5 years old. But this was V-Ray back then. It's not Aces, unfortunately, but I think it still holds up. I mean, it flickers a little bit, but that's because, you know, the school server couldn't really render this well, you know. So, yeah. Cool. Okay, so we'll go back to this. Okay, so that's my plan. Okay, so you guys know now I'm putting all the cards out. I want to kind of comp this shot in relation to the Nuke for Dummies because I think it has a little bit of everything. And I think it will be like the best shot I think I have to kind of show you different things, you know, because we have the original plate, and I also have some rotoscopes. You know, these are rotoscopes already pre-made, of course, by my students. And of course we have like, you know, object IDs, and we have like some CG torches as well. And we have some of the depth of field, and we have all the AOVs as well. And it's a very typical shot, you know, like it's a shot that has a little bit of everything, you know, a little bit of everything that you need, because then you need to kind of do all sorts of things to this shot, you know, like when you start looking at this, like imagine if you do a laundry list of what you're going to do. You need to, of course, like match the black levels. You need to match the depth of field. You need to match the edges. You need to rotoscope and put the shadow in front. You need to like match the lighting of the environment. You need to regrain the CG. You need to merge it correctly with all the AOVs. Like there's a lot of things that need to be done here for this to kind of work, you know. And so obviously we're not going to do the whole thing on the stream because that's too much, because this shot took like days and days to be done. But we're going to like cover little bits of it, and so that you can kind of like get around it. And I think at the end, it probably will be beneficial if I give away like a 1 frame from this shot. You know, if I give everyone 1 frame, they at least can comp it themselves by taking over the stream, because I'm gonna edit the version of the stream where you just have the compositing, and then you can probably follow along and try to comp this up. I think that would be a good way to do it. So. Damn, I'm getting tired. I can already feel like I'm getting tired, you know. Like I told you this last week, like when I do like 3 hours, I start to have like blurry vision, start to get a bit tired. It's everyone here needs to be careful with their health, okay? Just be careful with your health, because I didn't. I worked too much, I stressed too much, I worked too many hours, I worked too many long hours. And now I'm paying the consequence. I'm paying for that now. I'm paying for all the late nights and all the stuff I thought I could do when I was 20. So please rest up, fellas, because I didn't sleep as much as I should have when I was younger. I now have these things. I have headaches, I have blurry vision, I have sciatica back problems, I have all sorts of problems that really prevent me to stay more than like 3 hours doing a stream. I'm really struggle with these things. I started really like struggle. Yeah, the flame on the middle is CG. Yeah, just the one on the middle, not full CG. It's like a mixture of CG with other things as well. So it's not just CG, but yeah. But I will share 1 frame. Okay, so let me just show you really quickly here, just the merging, because I want to kind of show you one thing in regards to how we merge things, because that's kind of a bit complicated. And also I want to talk about the pre-molt. We'll see if we still have time to do that during this stream. Don't worry, I'm not going to go anywhere. We'll do it next week, the rest. But and I know now everyone is just like waiting for me to give away the Nuke Indie, isn't it? No one cares of what I'm talking about. Okay, Nuke crashed, I think. Oh, come on, man. Well, wouldn't be a Nuke stream without a crash, right? I do have the circle, a wheel of death. Look at that. That's what I have right now. I think it's nice lighting that I have now on my studio because of this. Look at that. That's a pretty cool disco lighting thing. Yeah, guys, I think this crashed. I believe this crashed. Let me just kill this. God damn it. Well, at least OBS didn't crash. That's good. Okay, I need to open Nuke again. Sorry. I'm trying to do non-interruptions, but, you know, this was not my fault. It's Foundry's fault. I'll put the garbage truck on fire while I'm opening the script again. So this is how Nuke is behaving right now. If anyone of the Foundry is listening, sorry. But hey, you know what you do when it crashes? You just open it again. That's what you do. Like, as soon as something crashes, you just open it again. Because that is that easy, you know. I still have a Mac Greater. Yeah, I have the Mac Pro. I have the Mac Pro, the new one, the Mac Pro 2019. And that's the one I'm using. Yeah, it's a great machine. I have dual CPU, 56 cores. It's great. 54 cores. It's great. I really love it. It's a great machine. Great little machine that I know everyone hates, but I do like it. Okay, let me just, I think we're back in business. Just need to sorry guys, I'm just getting all of it up and running again. Okay, cool. So, reason I wanted to show you this is because the merging node, we talked briefly about merge nodes, but we didn't really go very deep into it, because if we're going to comp all of this thing, we kind of have to go a little bit more in detail about it. So merge nodes, just like I said, we have multiple ones. You know, we have whenever you open up a merge node, you see a merge node which merges 2 layers, which is really important for visual effects. It has these kind of operations, and if you leave the mouse here, you can kind of see that the operations, which I know is not very big on the screen, but I hope it's big enough. I hope you can read it, but the whole point of this is that you have operations with mathematical equations, you know, A plus B, A minus A minus B, A plus B minus 2AB. These are kind of like the little mathematical equations of when you merge something. Either you merge it A over B, or you merge it as a plus, as you merge it as an additive, a bit like Photoshop, and also like After Effects. You know, you have these kind of blending. I would say that this is what After Effects calls blending modes. And so these are what Nuke calls operations, but they are literally blending modes. So the most common of them all, of course, is the over, which is A over B, like we've been doing. And as you can see here, I have a green circle, a red circle. If I merge it, you see A over B. Like I just said, B is the background, A is the foreground. So you see the red is on the background, the green is on the foreground. It's A over B, okay? So next operation that would be very used in CG would be a plus. A plus is when you add something to another thing. So that would be an additive operation. So in this case, we have the same red sphere, the same green sphere. When we add them as a plus, you plus the pixels together. This is very important for CG and AOVs. You plus them, that means a value of 1 plus a value of 1 is 2. And that's why red plus green gives you yellow, because you're basically plussing one value of color with the other value of color, and then you get the plus, the addition of both of them, okay? Then we have screen, which, you know, we have your red background, your green background, and we merge it as a screen. It looks exactly like the plus. But the difference is that it does exactly the same operation as a plus, as an additive. The difference is that any value that is overexposed gets cut. So that means that screen operations are great for when you want to merge something but not contribute to the brighter of that image, okay? So, and this is actually even more easy to find out when you look in here. So, I don't know if you noticed, but Nuke has this kind of like sampler that is always on. So as soon as I have my mouse over here, do you notice down here, there's like a red, green, and blue value. I'm going to zoom in so that you can kind of see it. So you see, notice here, I have a value of 1, I have a value of 1, I have a value of 1. And notice how whenever I'm overing the mouse here, I have values. This is, of course, more easy to notice when you look at an actual image. So let's, for example, look at this image here. For example, this one here, when I'm merging two things, you see. So as I move the mouse over, you see in this pixel is 0, 1. That pixel is 0, 2. I have the values, the individual red, green, and blue values. And remember, when I'm doing an additive, or I'm doing a screen, or I'm doing a multiply, or I'm doing a minus, that's the minus or plus or screen operation that will happen to a specific pixel, okay? We'll get back to this, don't worry. It's not as complicated as you think. So let's go back to the screen operation. Then, of course, we have a stencil. Stencil is very simple, you know, basically B without the alpha being, with the alpha being cut. So it's B under brackets 1 minus A, which is the alpha. So we have a radial red, a radial green. A stencil would look like that. Basically, I'm stenciling the green layer by the red. That's another operation you can do inside of Nuke. There's a lot more than these, but this is just like the typical stuff. Under would be A inside brackets 1 minus B plus B. So in this case, we have the red, we have the green, and if you put under, obviously now, although the red is in the background pipe, because I've done an under, although it's on the background pipe, it becomes under that other file. So that's one way of doing it. XOR would be A under bracket 1 minus B plus B under bracket 1 minus A. So that means that we have the red circle, the green circle, and if we do an an XOR, we get the red cut by the green, and what's left is the black in the middle of the connecting of the both layers, okay? So that's another thing as well. An A stop, AB plus B with 1 minus alpha. So that means we have the red channel on the back, green channel on the other side. If I do an A top, I get this. I basically get the green on top of the red, but cut by the alpha of the red, which is exactly what you see here. It's A over B, but remember that the B is using the alpha to cut the A. So that's why you see it this way. All these operations are really, really very useful for keying, rotoscoping, compositing CG, you know, all those kind of things. Someone is asking on the chat if answers will be yeah, we'll still have one more Q&A, okay? And then we'll have the last giveaway, don't worry. We have about another 15 minutes to go, and then we'll do that. Just so you know, we have about 15 minutes to go. An average, just like the name says, it would average both layers. So we have red and green. If you average them, you get an average of both of them comped, which means they go down in lighting because they're being average. And then, of course, an in, where we have red, green, and in is like that. So basically, it's in of itself, A, B. A difference, where we have the red, the green, and if I do a difference, it looks like a screen, but it's a difference between the two of them. A multiply, I have the alpha channel and then the other alpha channel, and if I multiply them both, I get both of them multiplied. I mean, this is really just simple stuff, but I'm going to show you really quickly A over B with an over. In practical terms, if we have this piece of CG, which is from the mill, which is a background, then we have this piece of CG, which is the foreground. If we do A over B, we get this. We basically get the background with the foreground merged A over B. That would be what A over B is. Same goes for the screen operation. The plus operation. In this situation, the plus operation is a great way for you to have, for example, some scratches and then maybe some drops of water, and if you plus them together, you get the scratches and the pluses, and the water merged together with the plus operation because you're adding pixels that are speed transparent to each other. This is one example of something that you can do. Okay? Now, let's look at, for example, merging with the screen operation. So again, here we have a CG seat. We have a CG character. It's from a trailer I directed a couple of years ago for Fire.Smoke, and we have the CG seat, the CG foreground, and we merge it together, and as you can see, I'm merging A over B. And then if I have the visor, which is, if I put this to the end here, which is at the beginning of the shot here, I think, sorry, that's just the visor because the client wanted some footage to be merged on the visor. So if we have this, which is the visor should have some footage, we use a merge operation with a screen operation. And as you notice, the screen operation kind of uses the speed transparency of the layer to merge it on top, which is really handy for you to do a comp like this, because on this one, the idea would be that we go from the gameplay of the Valkyrie into the CG trailer. Yeah, Sajel is like struggling with the questions. Yeah, you guys, if you guys don't believe, you know, I'll show what Sajel is saying. This is the questions we're getting. I'm gonna scroll it, okay, all the way up. So we started today. We started here. That's where we started. And as you can see, these are all the questions we got today. All of the questions we have today. All of them. I'm not even a third in. These are all the questions, okay? So please, please be careful that Sajal is doing his best. I'm doing my best. There's no way I'm going to answer all of this, okay? These are hundreds of questions, okay? So I'm trying my best, but I'm doing first come, first serve. I'm starting from the top and going all my way down. We're never going to do all of them. Just wanted everyone to know this. No one, please don't be upset. Please don't be pissed. Please don't be upset with Sajal. He's trying to do his best, okay? We're getting, like, don't forget, we have 150 people watching. You know, there's a lot of questions, okay? So that is a screen operation for merging, for example, this shot. This, of course, is not comped, and there's no depth of field, and there's, you know, a lot of things missing here. Anyway, let's continue here. Again, stencil. Imagine this is the background, this is the foreground. If I stencil it together, of course, I get like a mask, a cut on the background. That's a stencil operation, like the word says when you're doing stenciling with things like that. This is an under, so imagine you have her, she's there. This is the background. If I put under, she's now outside the window because she's under. She shouldn't be there, of course, because that's the wrong perspective, but that's how an under would work. An A-top would be like this, which is really strange. We would have a cut of the CG and so forth and so much. Like, I mean, this is just like a really, really rudimentary showing of how the merge node operates. Obviously, it goes much more complicated than this. And why is this important when you're merging all these layers? Because, for example, if you look at the way merge nodes works, you see, here's, for example, an example. Let me just remove all these color correctors here. So the merge node does have multiple inputs. It is possible to do this, you see, and this would give you, you know, I'm comping this background, comping the environment, comping the princess, comping the sofa, comping the shoes. And if I merge all of it together, I get the comp, I get every layer together. But the problem with this, of doing A over B, A3, A1, A5, is that first of all, I can't change the operation per layer, and also it becomes really clumsy. If I want to start putting color correctors on everything, I start to get like this kind of spider web of comping. Now, normally when you're composite, this is kind of how I would prefer you to comp. Not saying you need to do it this way, but this would be the more ideal way of compositing for you to be organized. I would highly recommend you, to start from the back of the comp and then work your way into the front of the comp, okay? This means that I start with my sky, which is the furthest thing on the background, and then I start merging A over B. I start merging the background first, and then I go to my next merge node. I then merge the princess. I'm going to just disable these things. I then can merge. I'm going to just disable all these things that I have here. I then merge the princess. I then merge the shoes. And then I merge the sofa. So this is not what we saw before, because you saw that comp that I showed you was just a monster, maybe a torch, and then the plate. That was it. But this has a lot more layers. And the reason why they're separated is because you want to have total control of them. Like you could make her bigger if you want to, or you could color correct one of them, or you could color correct another layer. And also the advantage of this is that when you're comping, you can focus your attention. This is why compositing in Nuke is so useful for compositing, because you can kind of like set your attention to just this background, for example, and work your way through the background and making a lot of things on it. And then you can work just on her, for example, if you wanted to, and just do things to the actual CG of the character. Or you can work on just the shoes and just work your way through these shoes, which have an alpha channel, or just work through the bed. If you don't want to make any changes, of course, that's also fine. And that would give you something like this. You would now I'm going to put it full screen. I'm just going to like put this to input, and I'm going to play it back. And so this is now the composite. Never mind the first frame, because there's like a glitch on the render. Doesn't matter. This is a production plate from the mill. So as you can see now, this is of course slower now, because I'm compositing several layers together. I'm merging sky with background, with foreground, and more foregrounds. So you see, I'm sure I'm confusing you, but you see how many different things we've now talked about. You can have layers which are AOVs of each of the speculars, subsurface scattering, and dynamic, like all these things can be comped, but then you also have layer by layer where you separate things. Now, obviously, not all comps need to be separated like this. If you do deep compositing, you don't even need to separate it, but it doesn't, like, I'm just like showing you the different things you have, okay? So yeah, if I see a lot of people like a bit upset about questions, don't forget I do these streams every week, okay? If your question is not answered today, just come back on another day. Come back on another stream. I'll be happy to answer. I'll be happy to help you as much as I can. Okay, cool. So we've done a lot of things today. So we went through the merge node, we went through channels, we went through merging layers, we went through merging separate channels, we also went through merging these kind of passes that we have on this shot that I have now in front of me. So the result of this, of course, next, like we're gonna wrap up soon. We're gonna do, like, it's already been another half an hour. So what we're gonna do is, like, we're gonna do some Q&As as well, and then we're gonna do the last giveaway. We'll be back next week with more compositing. On next week, I still want to talk about the pre-multiplication rules. And then, like I told you, I really want to do this. I really want to show you... let me just show you here. So, just one last thing is the channel... Well, we'll talk about the channel merge next time. I think I don't want to confuse it too much. So next week, we still have to, like, talk about pre-multiplication, glows and color corrections, and then... Once that's done, I kind of want to... Maybe it will still be 2 more streams. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Like, if I need 2 streams, I'll do 2 streams. So, because I really want to, like, do a little small workshop. And maybe what I will do is maybe I'll do that one in Twitch. I don't know. Like, I'll keep you guys all posted. But the whole point of this would be that at some point, I want to go through this entire comp because I want to kind of show you all the progress of doing all of this layer by layer, using rotos, using like merging and kind of like putting stuff in. But that will be for next week. Like I said, it's been already 3 hours. You know, it's, oh, no one is complaining. Okay, I thought everyone was complaining. Okay, so I already did like 3 hours today. I don't think I can do much longer. I am sorry if you were expecting it to be longer, but it was never going to be as long as last time. So because I've learned my lesson now. So come back next week. I will announce it on social media when the stream will be. It will be part 3 of this Nuke for Dummies. We'll go through more things like pre-multiplication and color correction. And then I also want to like build this comp, you know, so you can kind of see how we do this shot. But that will be like next week. So for now, ta-da! So for now, we're going to do the last giveaway and do some Q&A. So I'm going to open up the Q&A first. Don't forget to use the link to go to the giveaway. And in the meantime, I'm going to just like bring in the questions. I'm going to do a few more questions while we are still kind of like waiting for the Q&A for people to sign up. Don't forget the last giveaway will be a Nuke Indie license from Foundry. So Foundry was very kind to give away an entire Nuke Indie license. It's valid for 1 year and it's free. It has the street value of £400. So it's a great honor and a great giveaway that Foundry gave us. And also, let's not forget BenQ, which is the responsible for this stream. Without BenQ, I couldn't have never done this stream. Thank you so much to BenQ for all the support they give me. And also, don't forget to become a member on YouTube. It really helps my channel. And also, like, become a Patreon as well to support the channel. Or maybe become a Twitch subscriber, which is free if you have Amazon Prime. So all these little things just support my channel so that I can do more streams and I can do this more regularly, you know. I really wish I could earn enough monies to make this like a thing, to actually make a lot of streams, you know, because if I can get enough income in Patreon and Twitch and also on YouTube, I might just consider doing this like every single week, because like the shots you saw here, you know that by my students, the students that have taken my course, I have hundreds of shots with plates in CG. I have dozens and dozens of shots from short films, from productions, from that I could do in workshops. I just don't have the time because I always have to work to make a living. So hopefully I can start having a more regular thing on YouTube and on Twitch so that I can make more of these, you know. Anyway, let's do a few questions. Where were we? Let's see here. So many questions. Oh my God, there's so many questions. I think I'm going to put them on the screen because then you can kind of see them as well. Because this is just overwhelming. There's so many questions. You guys don't shut up. You talk so much. This is insane how many questions we have here. It's just like insanity, the amount of questions. I wasn't expecting this, you know. So these are all the questions. I'm going to just like, where was I? We talked about Blender, yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, so, yeah, Namul Oak asks, will you guys do a stream on history of compositing softwares in the visual effects industry? What were the previous solutions before Nuke and how Nuke became the king of comp? Yes, I am working on that with Ian Fails from Before and Afters. We are going to do a stream about the history of Nuke and also the history of compositing. And I'm going to show you some old softwares. I'm definitely doing that. I don't know yet when, but most likely will be connected to my podcast, to VFX Notes podcast. So that would be the idea. There's a question here which I don't know what it is, like a question that says Sibu ta navi min ni shenin. I don't know what that means. Pedro Diaz asks, guys, not sure if it was asked, but is there a workflow with Nuke and Unreal? Yes, there is. So if you sign up if you have Nuke, you can have access to the plugin that they are developing. So Foundry is developing a plugin for you to read AOVs and passes inside of Nuke from Unreal directly. So just contact Foundry because they're working on that right now. It's not out yet. Let's see here. VFX Buddy says, "Sir, I don't have a graphic card installed on PC because I don't have that much money and using an AMD Ryzen 3 processor. What can I do for render? Please help render farm, not affordable for me." Well, I don't know how to help you that. I mean, you definitely need the graphic card to run Nuke in a better way, and also you need a graphic card if you want to do Redshift. But if you're using Arnold, you don't need a graphic card. You just need like a CPU. So, not entirely sure what you want me to do, but you know, maybe try to get a second-hand graphic card, maybe, you know, something like that. Try your best, man. I'm sorry, I can help you more. PS Craft says, thanks for the lock range tip. Nuke keeps annoying me with the frame range changing. Yeah, PS Craft, the lock range is really cool because that means when you bring in new footage, it doesn't change the time frames, you know, which is really annoying. I know, it's really annoying. Okay, let's see here. VFX Warrior says, please explain me about what is LUT deeply. Okay. Well, first of all, I'm not going to do any deeply explanation of LUT. That's a really complex subject. That's like several days of explaining. I'm sorry. I'm not really going to talk about LUTs today. There's a lot of videos out there. And also maybe look at Victor Perez. He has a YouTube video about this. So maybe look at that. Matthias Visual says, hi, Hugo. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for asking. I am doing very well. Thank you. Matthias asks, quick question, how would I be able to access your Nuke course? I'm pretty interested for it. So my Nuke course is available on, you can buy it on PayPal. You can see all the information about my course here. I'll post it here. You can also see the information on YouTube as well, but that's all the information. I also have a video. Remember that the video that I have is a bit old, so it's not updated. I need to update this video because currently this video says that you can buy the course on Patreon, and you cannot do that now. So that is the video to watch the course. Yeah, my course is available, but don't buy it yet because I'm doing a promotion on Saturday for my anniversary. During 24 hours, it will be 43% off my course. If you're interested on buying it, just contact me. Contact me on social media privately. You know, you can contact me on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube. You know, just contact me directly, and I can tell you how it works. I already answered this question about the certification. Joe Jacob says, how do I render batch Nuke scripts on one machine? Well, you can use several things. You can either do a script for that by yourself with Python, or you can install a render manager inside your machine, and then use the render manager to pull multiple scripts and batch. You can use like Deadline. There's a couple of free managers as well, but there's a lot of the managers over there. So Disillusion Studios asks, is there an advantage to use pre-roll and post-roll frames in Nuke, or it's just not needed? Well, yeah, we have handles. That's what we call in the industry handles. We always have handles. Basically, sometimes we have 5 frames in the front and 5 frames at the end, or sometimes it's 10 frames. It depends on the production. It's very common to have handles because a lot of times on editorial they might slip a shot 1 or 2 or 3 frames. So you always have at least 5 frames. Sometimes you have 10 frame handles. Depends on the shot, really, of course. Let's see here. VFX Buddy is asking again about the graphic card. Please don't spam the chat with the same question. You've already asked your question. You don't need to ask it again. Red the Original says, if my sequence has 20 megs per 1 frame and I import sequence to DaVinci to export MP4, the size be same size for all frames in original sequence? Not sure I understand, but I think what you mean is that it will be smaller. Yes, so the sequence, like when it's an EXR sequence, it's always really big. When it becomes an MP4, it will become very small, but also the quality will drop and also the compression will be higher, so it will look worse, but that's the delivery we usually do. Okay, so Oscar says, would be nice to see how the flashlight effect was done in the CG Undead. Well, that was done in V-Ray, so it was done inside of Maya. It wasn't done inside of Nuke, although we're going to tweak it, of course. And Oscar has a second follow-up question. When you have a shot like this, where you have a flashlight in the video footage, do you roughly recreate that flashlight movement and go backwards and forwards between video and matching the render? Or do you track the object somehow and use that to get the movement of the flashlight in 3D? So it can be done in both ways. Normally, we try to match it in CG, so we have an actual real light in the CG scene, in the place where the flashlight is, pointing to the CG. So basically that flashlight, a lot of times we even take photos of the flashlight itself, so we have the textures and the fulcrum of the light so that we can actually mimic that light. It can also be done in comp, but it's most likely done in 3D. This one is done in 3D. Yeah, I can't. Well, there's only a few questions left, so I'm actually gonna do this. Look at this. I'm gonna finish all the questions. That's great. So let's see here. Last questions. Please don't ask any more questions because I don't think we have time for more. So Subham asks, please do a setup tour. I'm interested in stuff you use. That's a really good question, Subham. I have been planning to do like a tour of my office for a while now because my office is very different now. I've done a lot of changes, as you can see on my office, and I have like a calibrated monitor here. I have another calibrated monitor here. I have some scopes down here, and I have like my setup here to film. What you don't see outside here is my computers and my on the back more stuff as well. So I really need to do like a tour because I think you're not the first one asking me this. I have a lot of people asking me this, so I need to definitely need to do a tour. Thank you so much for suggesting that. That was great. Let me just go back to the questions. Let's see here. Manny Moore says, speaking of that, how is your racetrack comp going? It's not going well. I'm very delayed. So Manny Moore. The racetrack comp is a workshop I'm doing for my students of my course, and I haven't finished it yet. I've recorded 8 hours so far, but I haven't finished. It's 8 hours so far. I think it's going to be maybe a 12-hour workshop. I'm still working on it. GLM Studio asks, how do I become a YouTube member? Well, you just press the membership button on the YouTube channel. So there's like, if you go into my channel here, where's my channel? Here it is. So if you go to my channel here, you see there's a button called join. You just press the join button and this happens. And then you can join my channel as a member. You just press join. It's basically £1 a month. And you have access to, your name will be on the credits. And then you have all these beautiful emojis. Okay, so. And then 60% discount, no. Fran Yoshi asks, how did you learn Nuke, Hugo? Don't know if you've talked about this before. I have talked many times on my streams about this. I've learned Nuke the hard way. I've learned Nuke by myself. I was helped by the GNOME Workshop DVDs back then, but I had to learn Nuke by myself. Basically, I was an After Effects artist, and then I started like clicking around in Nuke and trying to figure it out by myself. This was in 2004. So it was in 2004 that I started using Nuke, and Nuke was not even Foundry. It was still Digital Domain's Nuke. They were selling it as Digital Domain. So I just learned it the hard way by clicking and clicking. There was no YouTube back then, so I couldn't learn Nuke and YouTube like you guys can. You guys are very, very lucky now. Guys and girls, of course. Very lucky now. So let's see here. Namhul Ok says, how do we match the exposure of CG with the background plate with grade node? Yes, it is with the grade node and also with the color corrector. We're going to do that next week or the week after, don't worry. A. Kalinsky asks, is stupid question, but nothing is stupid, don't worry. Hugo, what keyboard what keyboard do you use? Okay, the keyboard I use is this one. I use this keyboard. I use an editor's key. It's basically LED lid, so I can kind of like see it in the dark, you know, because when I'm working, I don't see I have very little light when I'm doing color correction. So this is an LED. So this is called an editor's key, and this is actually with the shortcuts of DaVinci. They have them on other shortcuts as well. You can buy them with shortcuts of Final Cut or Premiere as well. So that's my keyboard. Not promoting them because they don't sponsor me, but you know, just saying that that's been the keyboard I've been using for years. I like this keyboard. It's simple and it's very quiet as well. It doesn't make a lot of noise because I work at night and I don't want my wife to wake up because of my clicking around. You know. Let's see here. Malay says, how can we manage stalking orders of stalking orders of nodes? This node is in front. Well, always think about what I said before. The background is the first one, then comes the middle ground, then comes the foreground. Work your way from the back to the front. The back to the front. Cool. And this is cool. This is, look, I finished the questions. How cool is that? And Namul Oak says, yay, talk about flame and shake too. Yes, I will talk about shake and flame, yes. Isaac Fisher, last question. Isaac Fisher asks, I was going to ask about that earlier. It was certainly one of the best compositing softwares in the industry. Yes, I have a sealed copy of shake I showed last week. I have a sealed copy of shake and I'm going to open it up on a video for you guys to see. Okay, let's do the giveaway. Don't forget, well, one thing, since I have you all in your attention here, I know this is a bit cheeky of me, but don't forget, if you want to support my channel, don't forget to maybe, you know, support my channel so that I can do more streams by becoming a Patreon. If you become a Patreon, you can, you know, vote on the topics, get some discounts. Also, you get a video credit. You can ask me questions. Just follow me on Patreon and support. Also, become a member on YouTube. Become a subscriber for free on Twitch if you use Amazon Prime, you know. All these things support my channel quite a lot, and I can't thank you enough for you to support them. And also don't forget to follow our other YouTube channel, which is Garlic Greens and Companies, which is a channel where me and my wife do a lot of vegan and vegetarian dishes as well. So please do that as well. Anyway, that is enough for me. Let's go and do the giveaway. So last giveaway of the day will be for the NUKE Indie license from Foundry. Okay, so anyone feeling lucky? I hope anyone is feeling lucky. I hope so. So let's do this here. Okay, so guys and girls, I'm gonna do the last giveaway of the day. This will be for NUKE Indie. I hope the one that wins is not already has a NUKE Indie. So let's hope not. So I'm gonna roll the dice and let's do it now. Okay, so let's do this here. So NUKE Indie. Okay, we have 185 people potentially to win this. 185 people potentially to win this. Let's roll the dice. Rolling the dice now, and the winner of NUKE Indie is from India as well. So I have a NUKE. There's a lot of people from India here. So NUKE Indie from Foundry, and again goes to, I hope he's here and I hope he doesn't have it already. So don't forget to support Foundry and thank them. If you win this, don't forget to go into social media and thank them for this, you know, because they were so kind to support my channel like this. So I'm really not going to promote, I'm really not going to know how to say this name. Okay, I'm going to try. So the NUKE license goes to, oh my God, how I'm going to read this? Tirupati Jayaram. Tirupati, I think that's the name. I'm so sorry if it's not the name spoken like that. I think it is. I hope it is. So that's your name. Are you here? I hope you're here. Don't forget that we will have other giveaways. Don't worry, you know, it's other giveaways will happen. Are you here? And do you need it? Do you want it? I think that's the thing, isn't it? Like, I want to know if you want it and if you need it, you know? Are you here? If you're not here, I'm just going to roll the dice again. Where are you? Oh, man, don't tell me you're not here. Really? You're not here? Come on, man. You're not here? I hope you were. Damn. Are you here? Oh, man, don't tell me you're not here. Come on, don't say this. You guys know the rules. If you're not here, you're not going to get it. So I'm going to roll the dice again then. Maybe you're not here. Or you didn't see the comment. I'm going to wait like a couple of more minutes. See if there's more questions. You know, I don't mind waiting. Yeah, there's another question here. Sajal, my moderator, and also Linny was also my moderator. Thank you so much for being my moderators. They both, like Sejal is asking, can we have an MTV Crib style walk through your studio? We can't, because my studio is not that big. We can't have that. I don't think he's here. Oh man, that sucks. I don't think he's here. Yeah, I don't think he's here. If he's not here, I'm gonna roll the dice again. Okay, I'm gonna roll the dice again then, because you guys know the drill. Well, I'm giving him a minute, yeah. So if you have any other questions, we can do another few questions. I know someone on the chat saying, "I know I won't win even on the second roll." Don't be like that. Maybe you will win. You never know. There's one more question. I don't see any more questions. Yeah, I think I've done all the questions. I don't see any more questions. Will all entries work? Yes, they will. All of them will. Although I will have to, like... not sure how... Okay, well, I think he's not here. I don't think he's here. So I'm going to roll the dice again. Yeah, so I'm going to roll the dice again. Because he's not here. Yeah, well, I'm giving him a... okay, I'll do like this. Okay, so yeah, just to be fair, like, we've been waiting already for a few minutes, haven't we? Like, we did the roll. Let's see here. I did the roll... When did I do the roll? Oh, no, I did, what, maybe 5 minutes ago already? I think he's not here. I don't think so. Oh, well... If he shows up, if he shows up, like I'll handle it. I'll try to handle it. I'll try to, if he shows up, I'll say this. Okay, he's not here, but if he does show up in the meantime, I'll just give him a nuke like a nuke course, I guess, or something. It's been 5 minutes, right? It's been 5 minutes. So I think he should have, like, if he was here, he would have already said it, right? I think maybe he had to leave or something, Yeah, let's move on. I guess he's left. So unfortunately, my friend, I'm sure you're going to be sad when you see this, but don't be sad. Please don't be upset with me, okay? Please don't be upset with me. I've always said to people that they have to be here, and also, like, that's the whole point of this. And also, like, don't forget that we will do other giveaways, We'll do more giveaways, Don't worry about it. Okay. We will do more course giveaways in the future, okay? We will do giveaways of the course in the future. Don't worry. We will do more giveaways of the course. Don't forget that we're going to come back next week, and we're going to come back the week after. And, I'm not promising that there will be a giveaway of the course next week. Maybe I will wait a few weeks now until I do another giveaway of the course. But yeah. I did promise to give away 6 courses, so I think I will do one more. I will probably do more more courses giveaways next week as well. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I know it's really late in India. I know that. Okay, so I'm gonna do the giveaway again. Okay, so let's see here. So I'm gonna just, like, remove this, revoke, and then I'm gonna do the... So I'm doing it again. Okay, let me just see here. So compositors don't sleep. I like that. Okay, how do I do... Okay, how do I do it again? Sorry guys. Trying to... I'm trying to do it again, and he's not helping me. Just a second. Preview. Come on, he's not How can he's not allowing me to do more? I need to add another prize, otherwise he's not gonna allow me to do it again. Sorry guys. Sorry. Give me just a second. I'm trying to work my best in here. So it's just because this bloody thing is not allowing me to do another giveaway. So I need to save, create a new giveaway, and then kind of, like, put it back. So, okay, so now I can do it again. So sorry about that, guys. Okay, so draw a winner. I'm going to do another winner for Nuke 1. Okay, so I'm going to draw one winner for the Nuke Indie. Okay, I'll do that now, and we'll see who wins. Okay, so the winner this time is from Sweden, actually. So we have a Swedish winner. So let's see here. So we have NUKE Indie goes to... So we go... The NUKE Indie goes to Sarah. It goes to Sarah... Let's just see here. I hope she's here. Goes to Sarah. I'm sure I'm not going to pronounce this name correctly. Sarah Willer Shanson. Weiler Shanson, I guess. Sarah. I'm just going to say Sarah, okay? So is Sarah here? I hope she is. Congratulations, Sarah. Are you here? Gratis. I know. She's Swedish. I hope she's here. Is she here? Don't tell me no one is here. Oh my god. We had this issue last year, didn't we? We had this issue last year as well. Oh my god. I think she's not here either. Ugh. I can't believe that I'm just rolling the dice with people that are not here. She's not here either. I'm here? Okay, I am here. Is that you? How do I know that's you? Okay. Because that's not the name. Okay. But I'm not Sarah. Okay. So is Sarah here, actually? Let's see here. Sarah. I don't see any Sarahs here. I mean, she could have another name, of course. So yeah, I don't think she's here. Well, I guess I'll do it again. Okay, so Neko says she's Sarah. Okay. Okay, Neko-chan, are you Sarah? Okay, so Neko-chan is Sarah. Okay, how do I prove this? How do I... Oh, okay, here she is. Okay, cool. Excellent. Sarah, congratulations. You've won the NUKE Indie. Let me ask you this, Sarah. You're in Sweden. I've taught in Sweden for a long time. Do you have a NUKE Indie already? Like, is that already happening, or are you happy to win the NUKE Indie license for 1 year? I hope you are. You think someone just changed the name? It doesn't really matter because I'm gonna email her. I have her email. You guys don't have the email. So, no, she's here. She's here. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Excellent. Okay, cool. Excellent. So, Sarah, congratulations. I hope you want the NUKE course. The NUKE Indie. I hope so. And she's from Sweden, yes. Cool. Excellent. Congratulations, Sarah. I'm going to email you the license. So congratulations for winning the NUKE Indie license. And just as a little, like, since you guys were so kind to wait, I'm going to do a little surprise to everyone. I'm going to give away another NUKE course, okay? So I'm going to give away another one. And just need to set it up here so that this works. So let me just... Come on, don't diss at me. So I'll do one last giveaway, which will be, it will be of my NUKE course. So remember I said I was going to give away 6 NUKE courses. I've done now 4. This will be the 5th. I'll do a 6th next week. So let's just do one last giveaway. No one is believing that you're Sarah. Don't worry, Sarah. Like I am gonna email you. Don't worry. Sarah has won the NUKE. Sarah has won the NUKE Indie license. Congratulations, Sarah, and congratulations to everyone here as well that won. Cool. You don't have a NUKE license. Perfect. So I hope you're a composer. Okay, so let's do one last giveaway, which will be for the NUKE course. I'm gonna give away another NUKE course from Hugo's desk. And so I just need to this thing doesn't let me do another giveaway. Come on. It's so fiddly, this software that I use for giveaways. So fiddly. Oh my god, it's so fiddly. Okay, can I do it now? Does he allow me now? Let's just see if I can do it now. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna try to do it now. Okay, yeah, now I can do it. Okay, so I'm gonna do one last giveaway, which will be for my NUKE course. There's 188 people that potentially can win it. So let's draw this up and see who wins my Nuke course for free. Okay, so I have from the USA, from Pasadena, actually. So I have the Nuke course winner is... So this time it will be a name I can at least... so it's Perry Patterson. Perry Patterson, is he here? He's the winner of the Nuke course, the last one that we're going to do today. Let's see if Perry is here. Is Perry in the chat? I hope so. Not here? Do people know that he's not here? If he's not here, I can do it again. It's not a problem. Like, Perry here? Okay, cool. Excellent. So, Perry, congratulations. You've just won my Nuke my Nuke course. So, yeah, that's it, really. I'll email you all the winners, don't worry. So, goes without saying that, you know, thank you so much for all the winners. We have Dusan that won the Nuke course on the beginning. Then we have Dark Noise 55 that won the book, the NUKE Codex, gifted by Daniel. We then have Sarah from Sweden. She won the Nuke Indie from the Foundry. And now we have Perry that won the Nuke Hugo's Desk course that I have on my Nuke. So congratulations to everyone. We're going to be back next week. Don't forget, before I go, on Saturday, it's my anniversary. To celebrate my anniversary, I'm doing a discount on my course. So that means my course used to be £400. Now it's going to be 200 and something pounds because I'm doing a discount with the same number of my age. I'm going to be 43. I'm going to be 43 years old on Saturday. So I'm going to do a discount just for 24 hours for my course. So keep an eye on my social media. I will be announcing that on Friday. And then you have 24 hours to buy the course. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much to all my new members. Thank you so much to all my new Patreons. Thank you so much to everyone. And thank you so much to Sajel and to Lenny for being moderators as well once again. This was lovely. I hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget that I will make this video available right after the stream. And then also on Friday, there will be an edited version just with the Nuke Compositing. So I will remove all the giveaways. I'll remove all the chat. I'll remove all the interruptions and only have the 1.5 hour Nuke course that we've done. And next week, we're back for Nuke for Dummies Part 3. Okay? Thank you so much for everyone. You guys are the best. And I hope that this time no one is upset about my stream. I hope everyone is going to be happy. I'm going to do a vote anyway for people to tell me what they thought about the stream. And congratulations to everyone. I'll see you all later on. Let's just I can't I can't do what I do on Twitch, which is like ram someone's stream. I can't do that. So, but thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, guys and girls. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. Bye. Bye. And we're off. Bye-bye.